What up, YouTube? Get ready to blow off those dust covers and spark up the fun. It's your boys, Detroit Love, P-Dubs Arcade Love, Michael B. the Game Genie, and Nostalgia with another episode of the Super Game Room Dudes. Friday night just got live.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Welcome to another weekly episodic showing of the Super Game Room Dudes. I am joined, of course, by my buddy Detroit Love, and, of course, another person that I am on a show with that I do not have as close of feelings to as Detroit Love, Nostalgia. Nostalgia, how are you tonight? Unfortunately, guys, P-Dubs could not be here again tonight. Not because he has any valid reason, but he made up some bullshit excuse about having to paint his loft or something like that. I don't know. Said he had to wash his hair. So P-Dubs isn't going to join us tonight. But lucky for you, we did something last week that was so nice, we thought we'd do it twice. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us tonight, the one, the only, the inebriated, the buying MVS carts that he really shouldn't buy, 19K Fox.
We said we'd never speak of that again. Thank you for another episode of the Game Room Dudes Super.
Episode. I got made fun of this week because of the way I say theater. How do you say theater?
Theater.
Nope.
Theater.
Try again, Mike. Theater.
Theater.
There you go. Good man. You got it.
What do you say, Fox?
I think I'm with Mike on this one. Theater.
I'm going to the theater to watch the new Avengers movie.
I'm so.
What the hell's wrong with you?
That was the same thing that the other asshole said to me, Nostalgia.
Yeah.
He was a prick like you were.
That's a dumb way to say it, dude.
My camera just blinked out. You guys can hear me, right?
Oh, yeah, we can hear you. You look great.
But you're frozen stiff.
You look like Jim Brewer from Half Baked.
So it has a frozen picture of me?
Yeah, you're frozen.
Yeah, you look good, though.
Oh, we'll just keep it
It's a good still.
Yeah. So, guys, Carl is currently in a hotel in Salt Lake City, Utah. He heard good things about polygamy from James Hates Everything, so he's going to check it out for himself. Honestly, Detroit Love is actually on location for a work trip, but he got to do something cool there today, which we're going to talk about in just a little bit when Carl gets his issues sorted out.
I might never get my issues sorted out.
Let's hope.
Carl, what do you do professionally again? Just remind me. And he left.
He's gone. He's gone.
Yeah, that's what he's doing. A traveling male stripper.
Yeah. So anyways, hopefully Carl will be back because Carl's got some cool stuff to show us. But in the meantime, we will soldier on. Oh, there he is. He's back. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only Detroit Love.
I'm a
There he
problem
is.
solver. That's what I do for a living.
You're a problem solver?
That's it, baby.
I find you to be
That's
a
right.
problem causer.
That's
Tuesdays.
Perhaps. Yeah.
we can't hear you at all anymore, though.
That's fine. I sound better that way.
No.
The production quality is always top notch on Super Game Room Dudes.
Almost as bad as Be Calm.
Yeah.
We have a plan. B's got some good production quality. Give it up. B's got good looking cameras.
Except when he
He's got
calls
good
into
stuff.
the Super Game Room dudes.
Oh yeah,
That's
he's
rough.
always
That's rough.
awful.
That's rough.
Like you ask him, you're like, "Can you join?" He's like, "Totally." And he's like, "Oh, by the way, I'm at like Big Goods picking up some meats, so I'll be looking at ribeyes while I'm talking to you on my phone."
With 1 bar of
Yeah,
LTE.
one
Yeah.
bar of service.
So you can't hear me for real?
No, we can hear you, man. You're good.
It's just quiet.
a little
Yeah.
quiet, yeah.
I'm always quiet.
So, Carl, I don't know if you have the capabilities, but let's get the show started. Why don't you tell us what you're doing in Salt Lake City, Utah?
Well, I was here for work, and I knew that the Stellar Pinball guys were here in Utah, but I didn't know. I know on their box it says Roy, Utah. So I looked it up. So that's 50 miles away from Salt Lake City, and I drive 50 miles to work every day. So so I hit them up and said, "Hey guys, you mind if we meet each other while I'm out here?" And they said, "Yeah, Friday's good." And Friday worked out for me. So we met up in Utah, Salt Lake City here at a place called the Arcade. I think this was called. Yeah. Arcade Grill and Bar or something like that.
Oh, nice.
And play some pinball. They didn't have any of my favorites, but they did have some of you guys' favorites, And so we played some balls. A really nice arcade. Had all the old school. I played some Donkey Kong. Got my name up on the board. The top
you
score
go.
was like 400,000, and mine was like 40,000. So
Yeah, I can't do Donkey Kong. Like I've never broke 100 ever.
yeah, so that was cool. And then so I was just filming. Let me get some footage of the actual pinball once they took off because he had date night with his wife, so he was taking off. We played about an hour and a half of some pinballs. That's a pretty good chunk of time. And I was walking around just filming the arcade. This is a pretty cool arcade. It had a lot of things I had never seen before. And then I look in the corner and there's a full size Zotar.
That is rad. I don't know if I've ever seen one
That's
before.
awesome.
Yeah, I had never seen one for sure.
Is
So
it-
I have my official Zotar ticket from the.
Oh, look at that.
So that's
was it a remake or is it one of the originals?
it was original.
Nice.
Took 4 quarters. So that was before they had the dollar, dispenser thing put
Well,
on.
let us know what you wish for, Carl.
Yeah.
You can't do that or it won't come true.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Well, I do feel like this is going to be a movie because I've met Carl in person, and he is actually 5'3". So, Carl, I'm guessing you asked for a couple extra inches. You want to be big.
I'm 5'7" now, so it's already.
Whoa!
Oh, nice.
What I wouldn't give for a couple extra inches, Mike.
That's what she
I
said.
bet.
That's what she said.
And they surprised me. They gave me a special edition. There's only 2 that exist in the world. This is they made these pinball machines. This is a much smaller version of the one I have because it's made for an iPhone. And
Oh, that's rad.
so I think it works with iPhone 13 through 15 or something like that. So only me and some random guy named Cool Toy has one.
Oh, of course, Cool Toy has one.
Who's that guy?
Yeah. So I have tons of iPhones sitting in a drawer somewhere, so I'll get that loaded. Hopefully, iOS allows me to install Zen Studio because you know how they do. Yeah, this operating system is too old. We're not going to let you use anything you purchased that used to work on it. But we're not going to let you add it now because we want you to have a later version. And by the way, your machine can't put the latest version on it, so you're just screwed. But yeah, so that was cool. But had a great time out here. Last weekend I was on the show because my brothers came to town and we had a ball in the basement arcade. Man, we had a great time.
Yeah, and by the way, thanks for giving us appropriate notice of your cancellation. Like that was great. That was awesome.
With minutes to spare.
It was 2.5 minutes, and I usually, give my wife more than that. Yeah. So we had a great time, man. And the funny thing, last night here at this convention, these guys love to drink.
Yeah.
And after all the learning's done, but I did my first karaoke last night. And,
Oh wow, what'd you sing?
I sang Teddy. What's his name? Teddy. Something's got a hold of me. What's that? I Lose Control. You guys know that song?
No, you should definitely sing it for us.
Yeah, sing it so we know.
You're gonna
Hum a
have
few bars.
you're gonna have to give us some.
Something's got a hold of me lately.
Oh man, he's
I
got pipes.
don't know. You ever heard that song before?
No,
No, but
give
keep
us a little
going.
bit more. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you guys got to look at it on YouTube. But Teddy, I think his name is Teddy Cruz. It's somebody in the Jason's
Teddy
in the,
Savalas.
I can't
Teddy
see,
Ruxpin.
I can't see the
Teddy
comments.
Ruxpin.
Yeah.
But I know somebody in there.
Come dream with me tonight. Did you guys get that in the US, Teddy Ruxpin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was nightmare fuel. Yeah.
Oh, it was amazing. We'll
No,
fly
no.
to far off places.
I have literally no idea who you guys are talking about.
It was a robotic bear that stared at you just with lifeless eyes. And the
Yeah.
face was
his name is Teddy
weird.
Swims. Teddy
Teddy
Swims.
Swims?
Yeah.
Oh, no, never heard of it.
Oh, it's an awesome song called "Lose Control," and I actually was in control. My knees were shaking a bit though. It's my first time up there, But they said I did.
That's a different song, yeah.
So Fox, if we go to Cleveland together this year for the
Yes.
Cleveland Gaming Classic, we're gonna have to try to hit up a karaoke bar.
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah.
Yeah, so I've got a bad history with karaoke. I'm sure, as some of you have seen on the internet from some other YouTubers, I'm not a gem of a guy. I'm actually a pretty shitty guy. So one time I was in Nova Scotia, and this guy was up on the stage singing karaoke, and he was like singing, "And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon."
That's not a crowd pleaser.
So anyways, he was singing it, and it wasn't super fun. So anyways, me and my friend Dave got up and started singing with him, and we were like, "And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon," and we started singing along, and we took over, and he got off the stage. I didn't think anything of it. So anyways, someone come up to me after and goes, "His dad died last week, and he was singing that song in memoriam of him." And I was like, "How am I supposed to know?"
That's,
what
he
a
should have
shit
had a
person I
sign or
am.
something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's his fault. Yeah. His dad's death was so inconvenient.
Then we went up and sang a couple more songs. Horrible person.
Yeah, it's fine.
All the rumors are true, people. Anyways,
So
very quickly-
I feel like I don't want to go sing with you. My dad may die. I don't.
No, that's not how it works.
Okay, I don't know.
That's actually
It's just like
exactly
a
how it
final
works.
destination or something. I don't know.
Anyways, huge thank you to B. Kirby, the Chicago arcade guy, gifted 5 Super Game Room Dude memberships.
Hell of a man.
B. Kirby, one of the absolute nicest people in the community, who's joined my community streams twice now, always supporting everybody right across the board. Thank you so much, B. Kirby. You're one of the good ones, buddy. Someone else joined for the memberships earlier. I apologize. I passed it. Where was this? Multicade Matt. Multicade Matt goes out and reconfigures his facial hair to look like Doc Holliday in Tombstone. And all of a sudden, he's there throwing shade at us. You mean when you guys go to Cleveland with the AA team? Yeah, that's the plan, buddy. That's the plan.
Oh,
I've done.
Nostalgia, we've lost you, buddy.
Yeah.
Have you guys lost me?
Yeah, you're back with your little.
Your
back,
internet,
kinda.
your internet is no bueno.
Yeah.
It's no good. Be back.
Yeah, you're froze. Your video.
All right.
Yep.
And I will take this moment as well to say a huge thank you to my friend Stockjock, who sent me out this amazing Robotron 2084 shirt, the greatest game ever. And the cool thing was, Stockjock actually sent me one before, back Christmas time, and I got it, and I didn't really want to say anything because I was a little embarrassed. I didn't want like an 82-year-old man putting a pillow up his shirt, making fun of me, calling me fat or something. So, he sent me the shirt, and sometimes the sizes coming from Asia aren't exactly accurate. So this shirt was a little snug on me. Anyways, I mentioned it to Stockjock, and he was like, "I'm going to send yet another one," which he totally didn't have to do, right?
Right. That was nice.
Well, I don't know. I feel like he owed it to you. What kind of insensitive bastard sends you a shirt for free and it's the wrong size?
He's
No, he's a great guy. Gem of a fellow.
They do those Robotrons in 4XL, Michael B. Oh, you can get one then MG and maybe get off your recliner for once. You son of a
4X
bitch.
could be a little snug on him.
MG, I had 2 famous chicken sandwiches from KFC for lunch today. They've got a deal on right now. $5 sandwich of the day at KFC. So that's what I picked up today. It made me think of you. MG famously has 2 chicken sandwiches and then goes right out for a nap.
Churches has the best chicken sandwich.
He says 4XL is his crotch size. I believe it. That's why he's
Yeah.
confined to the recliner.
That's a hell of a taint.
Right, that would do it.
Stock Jock, thanks again, my man. You are a scholar and a gentleman, my man. All right, guys, so let's get started. We'll wait for Nostalgia to come back. First up, we're going to talk about Arcade 1-Up, and we've got some breaking Arcade 1-Up news to share with you. I know that's what you guys in the home arcade community are here for, so we're going to give it to you. We're going to give it to you hard.
Here's what's up with Arcade 1-Up.
Yes, I know you guys are waiting for this, and the late breaking news is it's been 2 years, 36 days, 14 hours since Arcade 1-Up released a new title. So for those of you out there who are saying, why doesn't Fox make more videos about Arcade 1-Up? Why doesn't Michael B make more videos about Arcade 1-Up? Where's all the Arcade 1-Up coverage? That's why it's been 2 years, 3 months, 46 days, 14 hours.
They're kind of
released
shit.
A new game. Yeah.
They're
not kind of shit. It's just, unfortunately, we're in what I like to call the home arcade apocalypse right now because there is nothing happening. Absolutely nothing happening.
I think they're shit, Mike. I think you got to give it to them you got to give it to them hard. You got to be brutal because we've seen them do good things, and they said these good things are good. Let's do bad things. Let's do things that suck. Let's keep doing that. And I think that's my problem with Arcade 1-Up. It's a damn shame, though. It's a damn shame. They had a good thing going there, didn't they, Mike?
If you love Pac-Man, then you're good.
You know what I kind of thought with the whole anniversary of Pac-Man coming, we get like another Pac-Man XL or something with some wild-ass color schemes on the side or something crazy. We didn't get anything. For the first time, we didn't get 12 different variants of Pac-Man. It's kind of odd.
No, and I'm sure a lot of that's tied to the same restrictions other people are going through right now because of the tariffs. Like that's the reality of what we're dealing with right now. On top of it being a very soft market in the home arcade space because Arcade 1-Up really saturated retailers with so many products during a heightened period, and then there was a huge cooling off. Retailers needed to catch a breath and try to get rid of some of the old stock. Then when it was time to rebuild, of course, the tariff thing happens, but I'm still hopeful, even though they keep doing stuff that I'm concerned about, the 16:9 screens, the little laptop monitors, the slim editions, all that stuff. I always hope, I will say this, all it takes is one good product. So hopefully they can come back. We saw them at the licensing expo a couple of weeks ago. I know a big challenge for them is trying to renegotiate deals with companies on continuing deals because it's hard for Arcade 1-Up to go to the bargaining table and say, hey, remember that deal where we said we were going to give you X amount of dollars and we were going to guarantee we were going to sell X amount of cabs for you every single year? Well, here's our new offer. Much less. So, I mean, they're not playing from a position of strength, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'd actually kind of like to know what Carl thinks about all this. I mean, are you kind of just still indiffererent, or is it kind of like que sera, sera?
I had no problem with their strategy until they put that laptop screen on.
Yeah,
because I didn't have a problem with them reintroducing the $299 one to try and get new people on if it was a good cabinet. If they just used the regular, even the crappy ones where you can't look at it from the side, from an angle. That is just they just put their foot in their mouth with that. But prior to that, releasing the cabinets to people who don't have rooms full of cabinets, I didn't see any problem with that. Introducing new people to it. But I don't know how well those things are going to be received, and I don't know their sales numbers. Maybe people are out there buying those things up and don't give a crap. You know what I mean? Maybe we're just too hard on them. I have no idea to know what the numbers are, but I'll be interesting if I was to see one of those in the wild, what the person who owns one of those actually have to say about that, because I couldn't imagine they're like us where they are, you know what I mean, wanting these to be arcade authentic or look close to them, because we bought those $299 things, which are far cry, from the way they make them, they have made them up into the pro line, I think people like having that budget friendly one, but them making that monitor that way was just ridiculous.
It was cost cutting to the extreme right there, and I mean, there's better ways to do it. You can still put a 16 by 9 monitor in one of these things, cover it up, and still get a 4 by 3 screen. We saw that with the Double Dragon cab that Iconic Arcade showed off the prototype, and we see that all the time from quarter arcades. All their screens are actually 16:9 screens. They cover it up with the bezel, and that totally works fine. We understand it's really hard to get 4 by 3 BOE screens. It's not something that's commonly made anymore. Changes happen with the times, but there's better ways to do it.
Correct.
I think that this could be the ultimate, and I'm guilty of this as well, is just crapping on the screen and moving on. This could be the ultimate test of who is really buying these.
Yeah.
If their sales numbers are equal to what they were when they were with the first wave of the 299s, maybe the general public is not quite as discerning as we thought, and they don't really give a rip about a 4 by 3 16 by 9. They don't really care. They just want this thing to sit in the corner and look good. But in my opinion, it doesn't even do that well. But I'm curious. Yeah.
Here's another thing we could throw against the wall and wonder if it sticks. I mean, what about people that want to mod? Like, I don't really care about, because most of the 299s people bought back then, they were modding them, right? They were
That's true.
putting their own equipment in it and didn't care. They obviously paid way more than that 299 to get the pies, right? To get all the equipment. Would they be willing just to get their own monitor with it being 299 as opposed to buying a 499, 599 one that they want to mod anyway? So that's something that it could be appealing to, but Arcade One Up didn't make them for the modding, but they were quite aware that people were out there modding those. But I don't think they gave it that much thought. But yeah, I think it is a benefit to people who do just want a good-looking cabinet or a decent cabinet that they can start a modding project.
See, that's a really good point too, because now we got this whole third-party market that didn't exist before. You know, when the 299 cabinets originally came out, there was no support really out there. Now we've got wiring harness to convert it to a real Sanwa control. We've got all these different monitors you can swap in.
You got
that's a good point. Yeah, full control panels
of any configuration you want.
Artwork packages.
Right. So when you start adding all those prices up, this is a good deal if you just want the cabinet.
Which is the big kind of barrier of entry for a lot of people who don't have any woodworking skills to build the cabinet.
They couldn't make a cabinet that looks decent like that.
That's a good point.
So, so again, I think any movement in the home arcade market is good, because without it, we're stuck with those few vendors that charge you well into thousands of dollars to be able to get these multi-K machines with or without components. You know what I mean? And we don't really have an affordable solution at all. And then, so it's kind of sad that they're not taking advantage of the position. And I get that licensing, if they didn't care about licensing, right, they can make whatever they want to make and deal with that, right? But because they are limited by what licensing they can get, and there's only so many games that they haven't already done, right?
And that's not necessarily true. There's lots of games they could still do. I just want to jump in there. There's just not lots of games that they can do that they're confident will sell.
Right. Well, that's an important, and maybe not even that they can sell, that the retailers are willing to, because some of these games, these retailers don't even know what the hell they are. Right?
Yeah, that's fair. Like, some of the retailers are oblivious to this. I've heard several people at Arcade One Up say that before. John D himself said, I went in there with a game he really liked, and they were like, we don't know what it is. Final Fight's a good example of that. When they first went to Walmart, Walmart was like, we don't know what Final Fight is. But then they had such success with the first wave. Walmart was like, yeah, we'll take more, whatever you got.
Yeah, so it's a complicated business when you talk about licensing, we talk about people's knowledge and awareness. You know what I mean? As these CEOs get younger, right? They don't really know these things. So it's a complex area to deal with, period. When you wanted it to all be legal.
Yeah.
Right. You know what I mean?
That's the thing. Yeah.
Right.
Like illegal. You can do whatever you want.
Whatever you want. Yeah.
Whatever you want.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. I think that could be the real test of the market, good test of the consumer at large. Like, did they just want that price point and they'll buy whatever it is at that price point because of the modding or whatever? Um, I, I I don't know. I wouldn't think so. I'm inclined not to think so, but who knows?
Arcade One Up doesn't view us as its customer. They view
Well, that's
like
true. Yeah.
the most basic person that is going to walk into Walmart and make an impulse purchase. So
Yeah, and their parent company, what's the name again?
tastemakers.
Tastemakers is a toy maker, and I mean, I would think if you just look at the evolution of the arcade, right? We were in the arcades and we all wanted something at home, right? And then they had the console wars, right? I mean, is that a market they should be looking to go into to do some retro consoles? Would you guys be interested in some of these consoles? Obviously, Atari's been pouring out their things, but
I think that's where else do you go, right, Mike? What do you think?
I thought that was a good idea for them a couple of years ago. I thought about them doing like a Vectrix. I was like, yeah, that's right up the alley. Like when I saw them doing those mini consoles, remember they showed off at CES that year?
Oh yeah.
And it was like a mini console connected to a TV. They had these like diorama type things. And I was like, you know what? Not that, but you guys could do like a mini Vectrix. That's something nobody's done. Like these mini, Vectrix console, something like that'd be really rad, right up your
Well,
alley.
they had
What
some
you're already doing
experience with the Star Wars, right? So they kind of had that.
Yeah.
They could pull
So
it off.
I just want to bring up this comment for a second because I will give him some credit. Like I love Robotron. I think Robotron for people that are knowledgeable about arcades. I'm not saying I'm the most knowledgeable, but for people that are knowledgeable about arcades and arcade collecting, Robotron is a gem of a game. So, there is a market for arcade collectors where if someone released a Robotron, we'd be like, hell yeah. But the general public, I agree with you. It might not be something that's very familiar with a lot of people. That's the argument why, Arcade One Up always, we're going to do a Smash TV over a Robotron. It's the more marketable game. More people probably know it from its console releases on the NES and Super Nintendo. That's what they're counting on. But I don't know if I agree with the first part of your comment. They've done every game that can possibly sell. So I'm going to ask you guys to chime in on that. Do you think that's true?
Carl, what do you think?
I think a lot of them that are sellable are already utilized, and you guys usually hate when they regurgitate those successes. I think it does leave them little room. If licensing wasn't the issue and they just wanted to produce the cabinets that would sell, you know what I mean? I think that it still doesn't leave a whole lot of room. Well, again, it's all about. I'm an '80s guy, so I don't know a whole lot about the '90s. There's a few things.
They were a hell of a time.
Yeah, like even I bought Killer Instinct. That's not a game I grew up we had any concept of. I probably saw here and there and wasn't interested in it. I only got interested because every time I modded the machine, people was like, "Will it run?" And so I got interested in it from that standpoint. So, but I think this market is appealing to people who are what 40s, 50s, 60s, right? That aging population. I know we laugh when they make these silly little things like, who the hell are they marketing this to? If they don't find some way to market to the next generation of folk, and as we continue to age, and if other people aren't kicking out. And I just was at the arcade today with the guys, and that thing was filled up. A lot of young people.
Yeah, there's
definitely interest, but is there the interest level for those people? Are they good? Are they comfortable enough with just finding an arcade place and going playing, or do they want them in their homes in the three?
I don't know if they want them in their homes. The only time I've really seen young people actually have these arcade cabs is you'll see female streamers, and I don't know if you guys know this. I really like Instagram models wearing sexy stuff and stuff like that.
First I've heard of it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's this weird thing. Like I like really good looking women, and I like looking at them on the internet. It's almost like that's what the internet's for.
Doesn't make sense to me.
I've seen some of these girls, with these one arcade one up card or something in the background. I watched a wrestling documentary the other day, actually, the death of WCW, and Vince Russo in the back of his interview had a little arcade section in his room there with about 4 or 5 arcade one ups.
I was gonna say I work with a young lady, she's 28 years old.
Yeah. And
I was shocked that she has an appreciation for grunge and like 90s.
Oh, well, that's a big trend right now with the 20-year-olds and the teenagers.
So to my point, I think that I think that's something that it's not just the old man talking about the way it used to be. I think that people of this current
but
generation.
you have to admit, you are an old man talking about the way it used to be.
I'm an old man talking about the way it used to be. But aside from that, I think that there is an actual recognition of people in their late 20s of, hey, there's nothing definitive in our generation. And if they just scroll back the wheel of time just a little bit to the 90s, they're seeing sort of differences in music and movies and physical media and all this stuff. And
well, I think music's different. I think music's different because
music is different. Sure.
The kids are they're going to have an appreciation for whatever their parents.
But music movies and music will have a broad appeal. Right. Gaming maybe will have a less of an appeal as far as the reach, right? But I think that there could be an appreciation for some of these older titles, in some ways because there's nothing definitive or new or different, even in the eyes of a mid-20-year-old person. So it's just anecdotal. I get it, but I think that it's possible that there could be more appeal to the younger generation than we give it credit for.
I believe that most forms of art are in fact nostalgic and kids could get an appreciation for it. Everything ages pretty well, except for corn. Corn, however, does not age well. Young people would watch that nowadays and they'd be like, oh my God, that man and woman don't groom themselves very well. What is with that?
For God's sakes, why did it have to go there?
Anyways, guys, we've talked enough about this. The other reason I wanted to bring it up is I saw a video earlier today. I didn't watch the video yet, but I saw it from Mike of All Trades. He's talking about Arcade 1-Up at Summer Game Fest. Now, I don't know if you guys remember, they've gone there a couple of years. The guy that may or may not have been involved with John D getting fired, that guy, what's his name? Rob or whatever. He usually goes and like they do like some stuff there with I don't know what it is, like some arcades. They'll show off some stuff. So anyways, they are going to be showing up at Summer Game Fest. So you know what? If you're hoping for a new title, that would be a good opportunity for Arcade 1-Up to announce something. I will hold my expectations. I don't expect anything. Usually it's just an opportunity for them to bring their current stuff there and kind of show it off. But we'll see. Maybe Summer Game Fest will be a new page for Arcade 1-Up and something new will come out. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to hold a lot of things. One of those won't be my breath.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, guys. So anyways, that's enough about Arcade 1-Up. Let's talk about nostalgia.
It's unfair that Nostalgia never got to speak about.
That's true. He's passionate about Arcade 1-Up. Let's hear what he has to say.
Do you want to talk about Arcade 1-Up?
Hello, young fellow. What do you think about Arcade 1-Up?
Yeah, because he's the demographics we're ignoring.
Absolutely.
If I can be completely honest, I missed 90% of this conversation. I have no idea what the topic is.
We were talking about pornography.
We were talking about that your age doesn't know anything about arcade.
90s corn.
See, this is, I don't know. I got some of that. Like you guys were talking about Instagram models for a little bit. You guys were talking about.
We were talking about that. Michael just kept trying to bring corn and all kinds of.
I don't know.
Help himself.
Corn is delicious at most barbecues. That's my perspective on that. What does that have to do with?
Apparently, in the world of social media now, you can't use the P word. You've got to say corn. That's what people in the biz call it. Yeah,
that's what.
Honestly, when you guys were talking about old music, and then you said corn, and I thought you were talking about the band.
The band Corn, yeah.
It was weird. I don't know.
Corn rocks.
Wow.
Yeah.
Anyways,
they have a song called Adidas. All day I dream about sex. Have you ever heard that?
Yeah, I prefer
all day.
Myself.
I dream about sex, saying all day. I dream about. Oh yeah, good old days. Anyways, guys, moving on from there. Let's talk about Nostalgia's shadow business. Evercade held their showcase number 4 there just yesterday. I gotta say, Evercade is obviously a very small fledgling company, but man, oh man, do they knock that presentation out of the park. Their showcase videos are absolutely fantastic. Like, you look at Arcade 1-Up with Cyrus with his iPods in being like, hey guys, we got prizes. Yeah.
We got Blitz for $199.
Yeah, but then you look at what Evercade delivers with these showcases, and you're like, these are 2 different companies. You would think that Evercade is the 4th largest gaming company in the world, and Arcade 1-Up was some company running out of some guy's basement, right?
Their presentation is like, I mean, it's on par with Nintendo, PlayStation. I mean,
yeah,
like,
it's so
the
good.
showcases are really good.
Can you show it with it muted, because some of us have never seen this thing.
Of course not. No, you didn't watch the video I sent you earlier. Why do homework?
For God's sakes, man! They're the 5th largest name in gaming. No, it's really good, and damn, if it wasn't for the tariffs and politics, this would be a much more fun conversation, right?
Well, it's worth it to get those Epstein files released, right, Fox?
Hey, fingers crossed, right? Just 4 more years. No, I think listen, I tune in, so Evercade is kind of a guilty pleasure of mine. Was late to the game, honestly. Many people jumped in before me, but it's something about
the cartridges.
The cartridges, the hardware. Carl, it's addictive. Once you get in there, you're sucked in, and you just can't help yourself.
That's what she said.
I have mine right here.
That's what she said. There he is. I got the same thing.
Yeah.
Good man.
And Nostalgia, my young man, you, like me, have been with Evercade right from the start. We were very fortunate. They sent us out the first Evercade 4 review. We've been playing all these things. What do you think of the showcase? Like, just overall, the presentation perspective they put on? I mean, look at this.
I got to be honest, man. I did not watch it yet.
You bastard.
I'm watching it right now with Carl for the first time. It's
50% of the panel has failed.
No.
Am I lit? Why do I go through all the work of setting up the show?
I don't know. You're so unappreciated.
Fox, Mike, clearly what has happened here is you guys have completely squashed an opportunity to get our first impressions.
Yes.
Instead, you judge us.
Okay, guys, important. Watch this then.
Man,
watch this.
This is a separate video you should do.
Watch this then, because this is big news coming up.
Wow, full-size arcade controls.
No,
player multiplayer. Look at that.
Here we go.
Wait.
Wow.
This is the new thing.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Third Evercade Alpha.
Wow.
Buckle
Taito
up,
edition.
fella.
I absolutely did not know this was coming out. 4th. I guess it's all the same.
It's fine.
So Nostalgia totally new. What about you, Carol?
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, I'm a fan. I like the idea behind this company that, hey, we want to make sure that we have physical media available, because, this digital thing, you can own it, but it doesn't exist right outside of your machine. And if you need to sell it or get rid of it, so I like physical media. That's why I purchased this, because I wasn't aware of this company until you guys were blabbering about it, so I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm a fan. I just wish that they would make some of these legacy, games available. Take one game off, and now it's a new cartridge, and make some of these things available. That's my only pet peeve with the company. Sort of like New Wave Toys. Like, you're in the business to make money. How about you?
I don't know. I'm with Carl 100%. I don't know why they have this weird thing of like, oh well, we did it once before, we'll never do it again. That's not necessary. Like you said, take one game off, change the art slightly, and just call it something different. I mean, call it 2.0. Nobody cares.
2025 version.
Yeah, whatever, something.
Yeah.
Now they did release more stock of the original Alpha, right?
I have the 2002 version, and you got the 2025 version, right? I mean, you could build on that, and people will want both versions.
Right. Change the art slightly. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah, it makes no sense for a business to make money and make cool things that you won't make cool things that people would buy, so you make more money.
Exactly.
So, anyways, back to the Evercade Alpha Taito edition. Do you guys like the shape?
You bastard! We had a good thing. I honestly, I don't
want to recognize good content. So
I know we're trying. We were rolling there for a while. I think it's fine, but for me, it's too similar to what they released before. I mean, the shape is very different. I'll give them that for sure. But the white T molding, we just had white T molding. I would have loved a Neo Geo Big Red, but maybe they're not ready for
there's
that.
the real conversation. I think
That's the
that's
conversation.
why most people are disappointed, because they anticipated with the Neo Geo partnership that the next Neo Geo Alpha or the Evercade Alpha would be a Neo Geo Big Red.
But I think if I was Evercade, and maybe our bench isn't that deep. Maybe our roster isn't that deep. Maybe we know we have Neo Geo, so maybe we have Capcom, and that's the big thing that kind of rolls out the Alpha, right? And then we have an off year where we have Taito, and it's pretty solid. It's a different shape. But then the third year, we have the Big Red, and everybody loses their mind, and they have to have them.
Yeah, so I've got a feeling the reason they didn't jump for the Big Red already is the Hyper Mega Pocket hasn't even come out yet. The two Hyper Mega Pockets, the Neo Geo arcade collections haven't even come out yet. So I don't think they want to saturate the market with too much Neo Geo all at the same time. So it makes sense to hold off and do the Neo Geo Alpha a little later down the line. Once that stuff has time to percolate. We're all very critical of Arcade 1-Up, how they handled the Killer Instinct situation, how many Hyper Megatechs would be canceled if they announced a Neo Geo Big Red right now at this time.
Nostalgia, with your deep knowledge of the 90s lore, what are your thoughts?
There's a lot to unpack here, guys. There's a lot to unpack here, because this is
take your time.
I'm seeing this for the first time. I've got a lot of emotions. I'm going to compartmentalize them. I'm going to put them in a little box for a minute. So
your safe space.
I'm going to. So the safe space. I'm there. I'm ready. Okay. So I like the new Taito Alpha machine. Just from what I've seen, I like it. I like the games that are on it. I like the design. It's a little bit more simplistic, I think, in terms of like the design, but I think they did a good job, because you've got those interchangeable marquees with the side panels. I think you can kind of go with whatever marquee you want, and it'll actually look okay. And unlike with like the Capcom one, where if you put like Mega Man, but then you got Street Fighter art on the side, it's kind of weird.
Good point.
So I think what they've done here is good. As it pertains to the Big Red Alpha, I agree with Mike. I think it is very likely we will see one. I think it would be a huge miss for them to already have the access to the license and then choose not to release it in that form factor. But I also think these guys want to sell as many units as they can of every single SKU. So they've got to pace themselves. If they're going to be putting out two alphas that are going to compete against each other, which is probably what happened with the Capcom and the Mega Man. What was it? The Street Fighter and the Mega Man one?
Yep.
It's not a good business move, especially when you're talking about two different licenses. So at least with the Capcom, they were both Capcom products. This, you don't want to release two side by side that are competing. So I'm good with this. I like it. I want one. And I think we don't necessarily need to wait until, well, yeah, we would. We're going to be waiting until 2026, it looks like, for the next iteration. But from what I know, and I know a little bit, because I do have some friends that work at Evercade.
Owns Evercade. Clarify.
I do. I own Evercade at this point.
Awesome.
No, I've got a buddy that works there, and he said that their Evercade lineup has been very, very successful, and it was more successful than they had anticipated.
Alpha lineup, you mean?
Sorry, the Evercade Alpha lineup. So in that, I would anticipate they're going to continue to double down on it if it's selling, and I think we're going to get more. It's just going to be a waiting game.
Do you think that this could be, not speculation, right? Does this telegraph a move to maybe larger items? Maybe 3/4, perhaps, for Evercade?
Time will tell.
I can only speculate.
Look at his fucking face.
Let's simply speculate. Just throw it out there.
If I had to guess,
If
I
you had to
think-
guess,
If I had to guess, I think Evercade would be silly not to consider it.
Yeah.
And
I
if I
would-
had to guess, I would think they're already considering it, but I don't actually know if they are going to
So-
move forward with that.
we have no knowledge.
Let's
Sure.
read between the lines here. Before we do that, Carl, you want to jump in? What do you got to say?
Yeah, well, I'm just curious is if you went full size with a cartridge base. arcade,
Yes.
You know, is there enough interest? Like, I mean, most of our experience wasn't a cartridge in a full size cabinet, right? You know what I mean?
Beg to
So
differ.
I was going to say Fox has got something right behind him that would.
yeah, well, I mean that's one out of what?
Okay,
Yeah,
one
and
second,
you
guys.
raised-
One
you raised
second.
a very.
I'm
Go
gonna
ahead,
I'm
go
gonna
ahead. Sorry.
break up the podcast here because you didn't have to do this with Super Chat, man. Thank you so much for doing that.
Oh,
but
no.
just stop here and everybody wish amazing home projects with Handy Greg. Hi, Super Game Room dudes. My wife Jill is having surgery next week. Can you please wish her good luck? Love the show. Good luck to Jill. I don't know what she's having surgery for. That's none of our business, but hopefully it's successful. Hopefully she comes out well. I know personally my wife, she's gone in for even it was supposed to be day surgery, but you're still so terrified because you never know what can happen. And it's one of those life-changing moments, like trying to explain it to your kids and stuff. So, we're all thinking of her, sending all our best wishes, and everybody else in the chat, throw up that energy, throw them the spirit bomb that this is going to work out fantastically. So
Absolutely.
you didn't have to do
absolutely.
a super chat, but thank you very much for that, man.
Yeah, we support you. We wish Jill just a ton of luck. But look in the chat, brother. You got a lot of people in this community that are also wishing just a ton of luck, thoughts, prayers. We're with you, man. And thank you so much for supporting the channel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, sorry guys. Once I saw that, like everything had to stop, right?
Yeah, Carl,
Okay.
please continue with that. With what you're saying. Yeah.
So again, I understand that cabinet exists, but that's not the majority of what people expect.
Yes, fair point. Fair point. Yep.
Full size cabinet. So again, will I buy it? It depends on the games. And if you make a full size one, and then you stay with your current strategy, so I buy this full size cabinet, and I don't have any games because they're all legacy games that I want to play. You know what I mean? I think they have to look at their total business.
Yep.
Totally different if they're going to go into that market because people are going to have some expectations, and if you can't,
I agree.
Some
I agree.
That is
affect their decisions on whether they will buy it.
Yeah, it's one of the things that you guys talked about earlier. One of the shittier things is I see people now like commenting like I've been lucky. I've been doing the Evercade stuff right from the beginning. I've been picking up carts here and there. I got some sent to me for review and stuff like that when they sent me products. But if you go back now and try to buy some of the older carts, they're really pricey, right? Like they're out of production, out of print.
Oh, yeah.
Right, because it's third party sales. All right.
Yeah, so I mean, it would be nice for them to be able to provide more inventory of earlier stock. And I know there's two minds on that because the Evercade collectors are like, whoa, I deserve for my stuff to be worth this much. I was here from the beginning. But at the same time, I feel bad about the people coming in late and then, having to pay the reseller tax on games that really, Evercade's only 5 years old. It's not like these are games from 1983 that have appreciated value over like a long period of time.
Right. And I don't know how far back Corvettes go, but if you have a whatever number you want that Corvette, that don't mean that you can't have a 2025 Corvette. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And still, yours are still going to have a prestige to it because it is that classic one. But that still don't mean that people shouldn't be able to enjoy a Corvette today. You know what I mean? So I think it's idiotic to me.
I think it makes perfect sense what Carl's saying. But even if you're a late adopter, you could have 20, 30 cartridges to be able to get a 3/4 scale cab preloaded with, let's say, 5 to 10 games, whatever. But then you can just take your entire collection, throw it in your cabinet and play. Would be sick. And it's kind of what we wanted RK1 Up to do in some form or fashion, downloadable content, games, whatever. And you raise all fair points, and I think that they should think about that if they want if they want their games to really be able to reach all their products, you got to re-release some of these cartridges. But even if you're a late adopter, you've probably got 10 to 20 cartridges laying around. Dude, I'm telling you, if you could,
I'm sorry.
go ahead. No, go ahead.
Oh, I'm
Go
just saying, but once you go into a cabinet, the games that you want to play and choose are quite different than
Yes.
what you're going to do on a console, on a TV, possibly
Yep.
what you're going to do on a handheld. So you can't say, oh, well, I got all these cartridges still available for my handheld or for my console. That a person just aren't going to want to play with a stick, right? You know what I mean? A joystick. So
I agree. I agree.
again,
Yep.
All right.
it's something they have to seriously, if they're even considering doing that.
If they, and to your point, like if they're going to charge $400, $500, $600 for something, they need to have their entire, at least their arcade cartridges, all of them have to be available, re-releases, whatever.
Right. But maybe
Yeah.
you make a bigger cartridge for this, you know, that so it's in a
Oh damn!
Oh, Carl.
Now we're getting crazy.
it's a
Yeah.
totally different cartridge. So then you don't have to recreate the smaller one that's for these smaller components. You make a bigger size.
No, Carl. No,
Guys, I
Carl.
It's got to be the same cartridge.
Yeah.
I
So
have-
so really
I-
quickly, guys, we it's 50 minutes. We do have to move the show along. So Evercade did other stuff. They announced Evercade Neo Geo Arcade 2 and Arcade 3. So very exciting. Again, much like with Neo Geo Arcade 1, there's some filler on here if you want to get these games compared to the Hyper Mega Tech, which is more all killer, no filler. But like all of these are really good. I'm really excited for Neo Geo Arcade 3, Metal Slug 3, and Ghost Pilots. I absolutely love Ghost Pilots. So very excited to see that. You guys can't be surprised. They're doing more Neo Geo collections, right? And oh, that soccer game too. It's Twinkle Star Sprites.
Is anybody shocked that we got actually arcade Neo Geo Arcade 2 and 3? Because I was kind of surprised by that.
Really? I wasn't. They've got a lot of titles to pick from, and Neo Geo licensing is
Agreed.
like it's like all or nothing, right? Like they just give you access to so much, so it'd be silly not to just use everything that you can get.
I figured that we kind of maybe stagger it a little bit.
No, get that shit out the door.
I'm happy.
Get that shit out
More
the door.
shit to buy. I'm with you.
I do want to jump in. I know, Mike, you just want to keep moving along. I just want 1 second here about this.
Yeah,
whole
absolutely,
cartridge
buddy. I'm
re-release and whatever. The cartridge re-release. I agree that it would be great if they had access to all of the cartridges. But guys, you guys are acting like they've made some sort of promise where they're only doing one production run. It's probably not a production run issue. It is probably a licensing thing.
You
A
think it's
lot of these
licensing?
games,
Yeah.
when they first released the Evercade and they had access to these titles, they probably did a very short license because they didn't know how successful their product was going to be. And then the license ran out and they just haven't renewed that. So they don't have the ability to manufacture more of those old licenses.
Yeah, and there were other complications too with some of those licenses. Like certain games didn't work on like the VS originally. Like none of the Namco games worked. And that was a licensing issue too. They had to go back and correct. So Nostalgia, that's an excellent point there. The other thing too is, like Nostalgia said, I think this company was very surprised with the success of the Alpha. It overachieved a lot.
It shouldn't.
So I wouldn't be surprised to see them explore other arcade options. And I know they understand the popularity of like home arcade, having something that's not a bar top, something that's a little bit more expensive that maybe can stand up. And I do think there's a market for that for their cartridges going forward. I think we will see that eventually. But I do think there's more alphas to come. I do want to say this again. I'm surprised because when I got my Alpha, I 100% thought it would be a one and done type thing. I would get one Alpha.
Me too.
I can play my cards on it. I'm good. Not a one and done from a business perspective, a one and done from my perspective of ownership. Okay, Nostalgia? I saw you shaking your head at me. But
I was agreeing with you. I was
no.
like shaking my head as in like, no
Okay.
way, it's not a one and done.
Yeah. So I thought like I was never going to buy another one. I think I'm going to get this Taito one. It's really cute. It's really smart how they did like Taito has a lot of their cabs have very unspecific side art. So very generic. So it works so well with the swappable marquees. Like I just think it's neat. I think I'm going to get it. I'm going to get, and I fucking hate Bubble Bobble. I like every time a Bubble Bobble product comes out, I'm like, that's an NES game. That's shit. I don't want it. I'm just going to stick Roston or Space Invaders on it and call it a day.
Now, I do
are they following the Marvel like formula? Are they starting small and growing instead of Arcade One Up starting right with a 3/4 scale? Are they starting with cartridges and handhelds and little set-top boxes you plug in your TV and then bar tops? I mean, is that the way? Is this the best way to go? I mean,
Yeah, you mean like manageable growth, so that way they
Yeah,
can properly
it's a
service their
thought.
customers?
No,
It's
no, no.
like-
What
It's just a
what you want
thought.
to
I
do?
don't know.
What you want to do is you have a really bad year, and you're like, all right, there's two paths we can go on. We can come up with a good strategy to move the company forward, or just go all in with Blitz. What do you want to do?
I like that
all in
idea.
with Blitz,
Let's
and
go
we'll do
with
it really
Blitz.
shitty.
But I do want to make one final thought about the larger cartridge because you guys all poo-pooed that instantly. But what
I
I'm
don't think it's a
saying
bad idea.
is- No, because you can have
Poo
a
poo, Carl.
right.
Poo poo.
Because you could have if everything that Nostalgia said isn't the case, and they could make these again in a larger size to make them a totally different. You can have a sled that allows those little ones to pop in and still be able to play those.
An adapter.
right? Adapter, right? So it's not out the
Like the Super Nintendo Game Boy adapter.
Super
So
Game
you-
Boy.
So you have like the big cartridge and then the little cartridge slot. Yeah.
Those
I-
Lego
I-
games. The cartridges.
I would go a different direction. I would say that you actually plug your VS into the arcade.
Oh
and
my
the VS
God.
powers it, and then the little carts go in that.
That's
Like a tower of
insane. That's
power,
great.
like the Genesis,
Yes,
the
you're
32X.
stacking.
And then what you
Yeah.
do is you put your Sonic and Knuckles cart there, and then you put your Master System converter card on that.
Where does the Game Genie fit in? Was that before the cartridge? After?
I don't know where you do it.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
The only thing I didn't see, and I think is possible, is what Thor KC is saying here. I'm wondering if they're going to do other additional marquees as well, because that was one of the rumors when they sold the special editions from Funstock with the better controls. I think there was
6.
extra marquees with
Yeah,
those.
the game was 6 instead of 3.
Yeah,
I got 6. Yeah.
I would love to get a Growl marquee. I know I'm in the minority here, but I love Growl.
that's
It's such a
cool.
good game.
No,
So
bro, go ahead.
if they're doing like a special edition, they had the pricing up there, didn't they? So they had the.
There's no special
did.
edition. I went to Funstock today.
So if
It's
there's
just
no
a
special
standard,
edition,
yeah.
you're probably getting 3 titles. It looks like you're going to be getting Space Invaders, you're going to be getting Bubble Bobble, and maybe Roston.
No, 100% Ralston. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what you're getting.
Well, but third party, right? They could.
Yeah.
Somebody could do something. They could make something. Yeah.
Just a
We're
local
bringing
shop.
back the marquee guys. Come on, where are you doing,
love it.
Angel?
Angel, we need you.
Yeah. So I think I am going to get this. I know it's stupid. I know I don't need it, but I want it. And part of that may be just we're in such a diluted area where there's no arcades
A
coming out
drought.
that
Yeah.
a drought, the home arcade apocalypse, that anything new is just so exciting to me. And I'm in a bit of an Evercade buying spree right now.
I was going to say the same thing. I want the Taito one just from like the brief that I got to see it. I think it looks sick. That's one that I want for the collection.
How much do you think that the Arcade 1-Up demise is contributing to Evercade's success? Are they filling in the gap?
Oh, that's a good question. I actually don't think so at all.
You don't.
I think
Do you think if Arcade
Evercade-
1-Up was still rocking, that they would still have the same amount of success?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I don't think that Evercade's success has ever ridden on the coattails of anybody else. I think Evercade has done a really good job from day one.
And I think that's fair because they do a really great job. I think there's nothing but success when you have this vacuum of Arcade 1-Up receding in the home arcade market. I think it's just. I think they're probably going to fill it. This and other companies, but I think Evercade is poised to maybe they could introduce what
Fox,
they want.
all this conversation is getting lost on nostalgia. He's never filled a gap in his life.
Oh, I apologize. Yeah, plus 4 inches is what we're talking about. Sorry.
I'll take a few extras. I can tell you, from what I know of the way that Evercade develops their products, they research the market like really hardcore, and with the Alpha specifically, they did look at community feedback. They saw what people were saying about the Arcade 1-Up countercades. They saw what people liked. They saw what people didn't like. Obviously, the big complaint was the quality, and they really. I mean, I don't want to say they rode on the coattails because I don't actually think they did, but I think what they did is they looked at the market and they said, okay, well, this product could have been better and should have been better, so we'll just do that. And I think that's what it is. I think they know how to make a good product, and they just saw a company slipping, and they're like, well, fuck them. I'm going to go ahead and
I mean,
make a
with
better
the
version.
cartridge, it's kind of like Apple and their ecosystem. I mean, Evercade has sort of created their own ecosystem with the cartridges, right? So anything that expands upon that is just a bonus.
So I will also say, from a basic business standpoint, have you ever noticed when you go to a takeout restaurant, what's usually right next to it or on the other side of the road?
A toilet paper store.
No, another
Oh.
takeout restaurant. They usually
I
group in
misread
sums. Businesses usually do their best when they're engaging directly in competition and stuff like that. Iron forges iron. So the comment that Evercade are benefiting from Arcade 1-Up failing, someone else mentioned in the chat here, I think Thor KC, I agree with this statement. When everybody's doing good, that's what's good for everybody. Like if Arcade 1-Up was a failure, iArcade probably would have been a massive failure, but because Arcade 1-Up was doing so good, because AtGames was doing so good, there's more room for growth, other people to come into the market because it generates interest. If there was a vacuum, that's not a good thing. Like these companies that are starting up now, like Iconic Arcade, Basic Fun, even the GRSFU, they've actually got a more challenging trope because the market's been hit so bad the last couple of years.
I would think that a vacuum is different than a void, right? So a vacuum is like it implies a demand for something, and there's nothing there to fill the demand. A void is just we don't really care, nobody cares. The fact that Arcade 1-Up is failing is not really because of lack of demand; it's a lack of product. So I think maybe that's where Evercade, not that they, and I don't want to diminish what Evercade does, but I think they could be elevated by the lack of product. To meet the demand, maybe that's a better way to say that.
All right, guys, my wife needs me for just 1 second. Carl and Nostalgia, you take over the show. Fox, you look good and keep people entertained. I'll be back in just a minute.
Carl, do you have access to doing anything or no?
No, I don't have access. They kicked me out.
Neither do I. So we're waiting for Mike anyway.
So we're gonna sit here and wax nostalgia.
We'll actually be able to talk because Mike was talking.
Good idea.
So what do you guys want to talk about? These guys are dying to hear.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think Carl should expound upon. I mean, you seem pretty passionate about the lack of like the initial wave of cartridges, and why they won't reproduce that. I don't see what the benefit is.
No, I'm new to Evercade, so I came in gung ho. I got my handheld here. I loved it. I'm like, let me get all the games I like, and I'm like,
yes, sir.
Oh, that's legacy. It's like, what's legacy? Oh, that means they're not making them anymore. What the heck? You know what I mean? So I haven't bought any more. I want to buy some cartridges, but the stuff I want are all legacy, and I haven't. To be honest, I hadn't looked in third party markets to see if someone was selling those things at a crazy price or whatever. And I don't know that it'd be worth it to me. I mean, I like the price. I got it because I like the handheld. I like the idea of the cartridge. I like the price set. But so I'm kind of stuck there. So I would hope that they would wise up and make the cartridges available. Because again, it could be what Rashad was saying, or I don't know if it was Michael that said the license have evaporated and they don't have the ability to do it. That would be a shame, but we know that happens.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a license thing. I think for them, they don't care. They'll do second runs, third runs. That's what they did with the Alpha. They did their initial production run. They anticipated how many units they thought they were going to sell. They actually said, in order for this to be successful, we need to sell a minimum of this number of units. And I think that's what they did for their initial runs. They blew past those numbers.
But that's hardware. We're talking software.
I know, but it would be the same thing. So my thought is, like, on the hardware side, they blew past those numbers. They just did more runs. And I think with cartridges is the same thing. If they sell out and they have access to the license, why wouldn't they make more to continue to sell?
Okay, but that still introduces a problem. If you're successfully selling more hardware, but yet don't have enough software to be added to it, you're creating a problem as well there, right? Because now you have people that are obviously bought your product and want to get software that's not available, right? So I mean, again, it has to be fixed in some kind of way, and whether that's getting new licenses, seeking those old licenses and trying to get them back. And I understand these things get bought and sold, these licenses, and sometimes it's hard to even track who owns these things now, right? Because these things get bought and sold all the time, and then people don't understand the value of it, or that's not their area because they bought it and this is part of this package of something they fully understand, and this is just something that came along with it, and they just don't have the resources to even understand it, to deal with it. And that happens a lot in licensing as well. So again, that's a very license is a very complex thing due to all those things. If it was just simply people own these things and they're trying to make money and they're going to make it available, if it was that simple, we would have licenses for a whole lot of things. But it's complicated because of those things get sold all the time, and people just don't know, that they have them, for one, and two, are willing to put the resources into it to make sense, because it's not going to make the same amount of money whatever their main business is doing, right? So that exists in this world.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that it's still possible that they are underestimating their demand? Because I say that because I woke up this morning, 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and tried to pre-order just the Neo Geo cartridge. It was sold out. So the only way I could get it was I had to buy the bundle. I mean, and from what I understand from the Facebook groups and all that, it had only been available to pre-order for 2 hours.
That's interesting. I didn't know that. So, I mean, that's actually a good point. I don't know. I've been involved in a lot of these companies, both in the arcade space and some in other spaces, like other technology spaces. And generally speaking, it's much better business-wise to produce a smaller run and sell out completely. Obviously not completely sell out within 2 hours. That's never good.
Sure.
But it's always better to project as close to the actual sales as you can get and try to clear out your inventory so you're not stuck with stuff that people don't want, than it is to massively overproduce and end up like Arcade went up with NFL Blitz.
Sure.
Right. So now we're talking about cartridges versus whole machines. Obviously, there's different price points, but Evercade is a much smaller company. I didn't know that they had sold out completely within 2 hours. That's wild to me.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say the only way I could get the Neo Geo is that I had to buy the combo kit with the Roguecraft DX. That was the only way I could get my hands on it.
And that's always the issue too. Is it too much demand or not enough supply? Right, when that happens.
Right.
Sure.
And we don't know the answer.
Well, and I think what people are doing now, like as we've seen with the legacy card, I have some of the legacy cards up, because I had them since the Evercade was originally released. I was one of the first people with an Evercade product in their house, and people are now buying these cartridges and keeping one or two of them sealed because they're keeping them as collector's items. It's the same thing that a lot of people do with some of the limited edition video games, like limited run games.
Sure.
People will buy two of them, and they're going to put them kind of on a shelf or in a box, and that's their collector's piece, and then they open one up and they can actually use it. So it's, I don't know, it's interesting. That being said, I mean, Fox, if they sold out within 2 hours, I can George Foreman guarantee they're going to be doing another production run.
I would hope so, because I mean, legit, I woke up at 7 a.m.
Are we still on this?
Yes.
Well, we're waiting for you, man. You're the only one with control.
We had no access to assets.
Carl does. Carl should have access.
I don't. I was booted out last week.
Oh, okay. Good. Anyways,
good.
So moving along, guys, they also announced a Amiga port that's actually like an indie game called Roguecraft. So this looks to be like a roguelike dungeon crawler for the Amiga. That special version is coming to the Neo Geo, not to the Neo Geo. I keep saying Neo Geo, Evercade. Take this down for a second while the ad goes through. Anyways, this actually came out today and was a partner order with Neo Geo Arcade 1. So here's something I like about it. Here's something I don't. It's great that people can order 2 carts at a time, because with Fun Stock, you have to make a minimum purchase in order for things to be shipped. So you have to order 2 carts at the same time. The problem is, not every time I want both carts. Like, the only reason I got both carts last time with the Atari Arcade Collection, whatever it was, with the Stern games, was because it came with a jaunty hat. I did not want Roguecraft at all. Like, this is not a game I'm interested in. I have no interest, but I wanted to get Neo Geo Arcade Collection 1. So you have to purchase 2 things at a time. This is a struggle I had and a lot of people had today.
Well, I couldn't in the States, I couldn't even buy the Neo Geo cartridge by itself. I think it's sold out within 2 hours.
Oh, it's gone?
Yeah. I mean, as far as when I checked at 7 a.m., it was gone. The only way I could get the Neo Geo was to buy the bundle. That's it.
Wow.
Let's check right now. Which one is that? Neo Geo
Unstock.
Neo Geo Arcade 1.
Where to buy? Let's see. That's in the UK. Where's the American? Only in the US? Canada. Can I get it on Amazon? Let's see.
No.
Yep. Good luck with that. I couldn't find it anywhere.
Fun stock.
Fun stock only.
We're checking right now, live for you guys. You don't
Video
have
Games Plus didn't have it. Songbird didn't have it. Nobody had it.
Neo Geo Arcade number 1. $36.97. I can order it right this second. Oh, yeah.
Amazon?
No, Fun stock.
Fun stock?
Just
But you got to order. You got to order two items.
No,
yes, you can put it in your cart on your own. Try to check out. That's the problem.
Okay, I'm working on it. We'll see if I can do this. Check it. I can check out just fine, guys. I
With
just have
one
to put in
item.
my payment details. Yeah, one item in my shopping cart. I just have to put in my payment details and off
Put
I
in
go.
your shipping address. Put in your shipping address.
Okay.
They hate.
You guys want me to put this on screen so I can dox myself?
No, that's fine.
Absolutely.
Trust me. Put in your.
I want to know where
address.
you live
I'm working on
right
it, guys.
now. Yeah, no, I can do it now. Yeah,
And then put in your credit card number.
I'll put my only if that's on screen, guys.
And then when you're done, ship it to Robert.
Yes, and I'll cancel my other order. They must have done a restock
Shipping
or
order cannot be shipped to your
something.
selected address.
There you go.
Ah, so they
is
get
that
you.
because of? So I
No,
got to
you-
add a different item to my cart in order to make that happen. Is that what you're
Yeah,
saying?
you gotta have a
minimum order,
minimum
yeah.
order of 29 pounds, and that only one game records is 19 pounds. So
Yeah,
that's why they always do the 2 games at once, so you can do it that way, right? So
Do they charge you shipping too?
yes, you're charged a fun stock shipping is great. It's a very small amount.
It's
Fox,
actually not bad. Yeah.
didn't I thought you said you did order it, but you added like a different game, like an older game.
No. I got the combo pack because
You got
it wasn't
Roadcraft.
available by itself.
Awful
Yeah.
Roadcraft.
Well, I hope it's great because I bought it.
I would've gone with Tomb Raider.
Yeah, I would.
But it does.
Who?
It looks like it's available by itself now. It wasn't like that.
Cancel your earlier pre-order and order it with something better.
All over that.
Did
Well, you
you
don't
get the
wanna-
bundle with the T-shirt?
Until you get.
No, I got the one with the game. Yeah,
got
the
the
2
one with
game,
the game.
bundle. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a 2-game bundle with the T-shirt.
No, I didn't get that one.
Not a
Michael-
real fan, then.
Michael,
I
Obviously.
got the
don't-
lame version.
Here, so we have plenty of time to go. Keep going.
Yeah, it's an hour and 14 minutes, guys, and we're still on topic number 1.
That's good.
Yeah,
Mike,
this
oh,
is
yeah,
all
look at
exciting. And
We're
the chat is engaged, Michael. This is what we're here for.
This is
Yeah.
what we're here
So
for.
what you put on the list is what the people want to hear.
Give the people what they want.
Yes.
All right, so then the other announcement was they're actually doing the Taito carts. So I'll just throw this up here, guys, for you to take a look. So Taito Arcade Collection 1 and 2.
Pirate
coming up
Pete?
from-
No way.
Yeah, Pirate Pete's there. I've never played it before. Is it bad? It looks bad.
It looks like ass.
Listen, you just have to learn to appreciate the gold in it. That's all.
Yeah, so unlike the
don't know.
Capcom games that are never coming to cartridge, unfortunately, hopefully they eventually get them. You are going to get a cartridge option here. So you got Space Invaders, which you can play in Taint mode.
Nice.
Tate mode.
Taint or Tate?
Bubble Bobble's
Tate.
going to be on the same one. Chack and Pop, Colony 7, which I'm not familiar with. Pondokodon, Growl. Yeah, I love Growl. Pirate
awesome.
Pete.
Look how sick that game is, dude.
And I don't know this one. Legend
That
of
looks good.
Kage. Legend of Kage is good. Taito
Dude.
Arcade 2 is coming, and this one's got some filler, boys. So we got Liquid Kids. I've had elevator action. I was going to make a comment about Liquid Kids.
That's what the legend. What you say, Kagi? What's it called again?
Kage, Roston, the electric yo-yo.
Yeah, my best friend had that full size cabinet. He kept trying to give it to me. I'm like, no, I don't want.
Oh, you should have took it. Legend of Kage is awesome.
Yeah,
He couldn't give it away.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Nostalgia, is there any truth to the rumor that you've swallowed a number of liquid kids?
I have.
Oh, for God's sakes!
I have
You bastards.
decided to not respond to that, Mike. I think
That's a good idea.
I think that's a private question. Okay, it's none of your damn business.
Jeez, a little personal, right?
Jeez.
I love Growl, and for you people that aren't arcade people, but I'm assuming most people are arcade people here, Growl's also on the Sega Genesis. They did a really good port of Growl on the Sega Genesis, so check it out if you haven't already.
And I'm looking at all these cartridges. I don't know what Carl's talking about. They got some badass cartridges that have recently come out. They've got like the Legacy of Kain. Those games are so freaking good.
Yep,
And they've
I've got
the
those.
Tomb Raiders.
Tomb Raider.
I've got both the Tomb Raider collections. Yeah,
The Metal Dragon.
I didn't get that one.
Metal Dragon Life on Mars collection.
Got
What
that
else? We got,
Anything I have an idea what is Legacy.
Broken Sword collection.
Carl's favorite game, Liquid Kids, is there.
It's right there.
Remember, I'm
It's,
considerably older than you gentlemen.
it's the main title.
You know,
Yeah.
I don't know these
Something
things
super
to
endearing
play
about their indie titles.
So, anyways, guys, that's basically everything from the big thing. The big thing is Neo Geo went up for pre-order, so people can get that. That's coming out on. When is that coming? July, early July. We're gonna get our Neo Geo carts. So, hopefully, we'll get our pockets then too. I did notice. I'm about to do something stupid because Fox, I ordered the red Super Mega Hyper Pocket. I think
Good
I want
man.
the black one too. I saw it on Amazon.
Just get
today,
both.
Why not?
Mike, the
I
red one
have
is.
I have both. Yeah,
I'm getting
I've got
both.
pre-ordered.
Both.
I'm telling you, the red
Both.
one is going to be the collectors. Don't
Yes.
open the red one.
Yes.
Don't open it. What do you
Don't
mean,
open
don't
it.
open it?
Never
Wait
open
10
it.
years,
Buy
man.
two.
What'd you pay for that? Like 130?
Yeah,
something like that. Yeah. So don't open that, and in 10 years it'll be worth 140.
I'm not like MG. I just can't sit around with a 100-inch TV in a box in my house and never use
It'd
it.
be worth $1 more in 10
because
years.
no, you can't rent a cherry picker to put it up on your ceiling. So, well, actually, that's a really good point. Maybe I will just get the black one, and
Just get both,
I'll do
Mike. Get both.
I'll do a GRS and save it in a baggie on a shelf.
Yeah, you know what? Never mind. Just get the
Vacuum
black
seal it.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you want to see a review of the red one, come to the 19K Fox channel.
All right, guys. So that was everything from Evercade Showcase 4. Again, great presentation for them. Like, you leave it, and the easy thing to say is, where's the Konami games? Where's this? Like, which is the easy attack, but they do such a good job of showcasing what they have and maximizing the value. You don't even think about it, right? It's not like the old iArcade presentations back in the day, and it was like, I have a Starburst. Here's shitty game.
Here we go.
It's
Let's go.
Hop on. What was the name of the Beersis and Escape from Popo?
cocaine there.
The 2-minute intro. Get ready. Here it is.
Yeah.
Ready to go.
All the iArcade fans are like, God damn that Mike Burry.
This is a banger.
All right. Oh yeah.
They're all bangers.
They're all bangers. Beersis. This is the greatest free game I ever played.
For God's sakes, I love it.
All right, so moving on, guys. I did want to talk about this week. AtGames released. I'm going to get the video up for you guys here now. Shooting the Rapids Deluxe. I haven't had a lot of time with it. I played it a little bit earlier. It's not bad. It's not bad, guys. So let me just get the video out here for you guys. I'm not going to bring it up from the website. I'm sorry. As you get older, it's a little bit harder to get it up. Nostalgia. I'm sure you understand.
Just think about
I
something
don't know
you
what
really
that's
enjoy.
like just yet.
Oh, come on.
Think about your favorite corn.
Oh, yeah. Alyssa Milano.
Yeah, we're talking. There he goes.
Did you just say Alyssa Milano?
Alyssa Milano.
Alyssa Milano delivering pizza.
But it's good pizza.
But it's good pizza. No, she's 5 minutes late. How can she make it up to you?
All right, guys. So let me just move the video over on the other screen here now. So AtGames were kind enough to send out a gameplay video for me. Here we go from Mikey Two Pins. Here is Shooting the Rapids Deluxe. Playing
Beautiful.
from my TV. I think, the back glass looks really good. This is more of when Zachariah Magic Pixel started doing like the AI for their art. So I think the art is good. I think the table layout's good. It actually does play pretty fun. Music's good. They've got brand new DMD video that's not the same that they always use. They've got great call outs. This is a good game. However, I have to throw a however in there. The ball physics, especially again down, like once you start knocking around down around the out lanes, really, really, really shitty. Like they've got to do something about their ball physics. The ball's a little too floaty, too jumpy. Like the game, if the ball was a little bit heavier, this would be a stellar game, like 9 out of 10. But I get down to that section where look at the, like you see the.
I just literally saw exactly what you were saying right there.
Yeah, it's just. Yeah, it's all Zachariah games. They're all like this. Like the more I've played it, the more I've become attuned to it. Like I'm playing so much other, VPX. I'm playing so much other Zen pinball, and you notice like a huge difference, right?
Good God,
there's nothing worse than
just
light floaty balls.
Like you notice that ball bouncing around down there. Like it defies physics. That's not how a real ball would act in pinball.
Yeah, I'm looking at this, and even the ball skipping, it's no good.
Yeah,
it just cuts out, no good.
Which honestly is a massive shame, because if you can get past that and you're used to these Zachariah physics and you like them, this is a really good game. Good music, good call outs, the art's good, table play is really good. I just don't like the that bouncing of the ball. just do you see the way it? But it's like it's
bad.
Like if a ball I've become more attuned to it the more I keep playing. It's almost like if a pinball was like a basketball. That's kind of the way the physics work.
It was made of rubber. Yeah. No, it doesn't look good.
Meatball Saucy says same physics but much slower as Zen. Is that what he's saying? Well, balls are not heavy enough. That's what I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sir Sega says, if you like shit, you'll love it. I guess I like shit. I do like other elements of this. Like I'm telling you right now, there's a lot to like here. It's just those physics, the last couple games I've played, I've had a lot of fun playing the games, but the physics started really driving me nuts. And it's the first time I really started noticing it.
Is that something they can add as a setting to change the ball weight?
I don't know, but I would have to, I know Crow pretty well, and Crow has been covering Zachariah Pinball long before us even knew it was a thing. So I next time I get a chance, I want to talk to him about it, because I don't know if it's something that's, I've never played the PC version, so I don't know if the ball physics are the same on their PC versions, if this is something that the Zachariah fan base really like, and maybe I'm being a bit of a, VPX Zen Studios snob right now. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
I honestly know just by the games that are available, there's a crowd of people that love the gamification of pinball tables, right? And that's a totally different thing if you're trying to play the authentic pinball tables, replications of the authentic pinball tables. So if you like the gamified pinball thing, I don't think you mind it as much as you prefer the more authentic pinball tables. So I don't think other people would be as harsh as we would, because they would just be enjoying that they get to play these games.
Yeah, that's a good point, Carl.
I'd love to check it out, but I still can't log into my 4KP. So
yeah, that's not so good.
It's a bit of a problem.
A couple other positives. I'm going to do a compliment sandwich on this. Like I mentioned earlier, the music was good. SSF kit is really, really good on this. Like the sounds are sharp through the different speakers. Also really like the table lightings. Like if you take a look, there's lighting effects that happen at different points on the table, which is actually really sharp. And another thing I like that Magic Pixel have done with their back glasses is they actually have different lights that go on and off on the back glass. Like the back glass on this is not my favorite thing. It's basically this image here, the guys in the canoe. But the lighting effects they use on the back glass make it look like an old timey pinball back glass. So there's a lot of things I like, It's just when it comes right down to the core physics, like especially at some of the most frustrating moments, like especially for me, who I'm a guy, I don't nudge. I play, I'll play as it is instead of trying to move the machine or whatever it is like that. Like when it's a game designed that forces you to nudge because of weird pinball physics, like that's when I have an issue.
Well, I played a lot of pinball today, and if you didn't nudge, them balls were draining for sure. And a lot of those tables were dark. Those the tables I was playing, these real pinball tables, right? Dark.
Yeah, that's Carl, because they just let the lights go out and they're not properly maintained.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
Right. Yeah. I'm just saying, when you're playing real pinball, you're going to have those elements, right?
But not like that, Carl. Like this?
I'm not. Yeah. Oh no. Again, I'm saying the balls jump and hit the glass. I'm just saying there's always something weird, no matter what type of pinball you're playing, and you have to adjust to them if you're going to be, if it's going to be fun, or if you're going to be, good at it, because that's just what pinball is. But yeah, look at the way that ball just jumped from the right side to the side. It's crazy.
I know Bill did a review on it as well. So you guys, if you haven't had a chance yet, go check out Bill's review. He's saying even nudging, he found himself like nudging the ball into the out lanes. It's just too bouncy. So, I mean, I love all the effort, time, everything they put into it. But at its core, like when your physics fail you a little bit like that, even if I don't know if it's possible, because I don't understand the whole idea of coding pinball, virtual pinball or digital pinball. But if there was an option for, can I make my balls heavier? That'd really help this game.
And Michael, again, I don't own this 4K. I mean, but what real options you have? I mean, you either stick with the old tables or get new tables, right? I mean, what? Even if you say this thing sucks totally, I mean, if they don't keep making games, what other option do you have, right?
Well,
if all the Zens are like that, then
this is not Zen. Zen is Zachariah. This is Magic Pixel. The company AtGames is doing their own, games with, and it's a shame because they've made so many strides and improved these games so much. Since I've been playing them, I know AtGames invests in them, does all these things, that something so stupid as just like these really minute physics, like with the ball, are really starting to impact the experience when everything else is so good.
But it's important, man.
Yeah, 100%.
It's so important.
So I think that's feedback they should know. That they could have a really, really great experience on their hands, like right across the board. Just need to tweak your ball physics just a little bit. Yeah. Retro Arcade Trooper. That's kind of the feel to it too. It's like those super balls. It's like you're playing with a bouncy super ball instead of a pinball.
Yeah. Okay. Well, hopefully we see some improvements. I don't think we're going to see much of an improvement. I'm getting the impression that the physics are the physics.
Yeah.
And that's not changing. So.
Yeah, so that's it for AtGames, and we've got some fun VR news for you people. Who here likes the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Never heard of them.
I'm actually not sure
Is that
who those
popular?
are. What are those?
They're turtles in a half shell. Turtle Power.
No clue.
Nope. Not sure.
But gentlemen, I am going to have to go because I have to get packed for my airplane ride back home.
You're leaving tomorrow there, Carl?
Yes, for early.
Nice.
I normally would have left, today, but I'm like, I'm gonna get some sleep and go in the morning, But
did you fly or drive, Carl?
Fly.
Just flying.
All right, gentlemen. I appreciate you.
All right, Carl.
Love you, Carl. We'll talk to you later, buddy.
We'll see you on the web.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. So this is Fox. I know you do have access to VR. Your son has a VR headset.
I do, yes.
You don't have one yourself. This is a new game coming out, a action adventure Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 4-player co-op game. for VR. So we got a very brief teaser, which basically is just this video. They don't really go much further than that. Luckily, there's a MetaQuest page that shows off some what could be in-game assets. We don't know a lot right now. We just know it's action adventure. So think kind of like you're attacking like Batman, and you also get to master using the turtles for weapons. So obviously, anything with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I'm excited about. I always hope that it's going to be something really, really stupid, and it's going to be just one second, boys. I always hope that it's going to be, based on the classic stuff from like when we were kids, and they always take their own interpretation. Like you see an image of Master Splinter, you see the Turtles, they've got very, modern comic type renderings. So it'll be interesting. Hope it's fun. Hope it's super playable, and we'll keep our eyes on that.
I'm sure it'll be good. Honestly, like they've done a good job with a lot of these comic book superhero style games. Like the Iron Man VR was a good game. The Batman game won Game of the Year.
Yeah. And it should. Batman was incredible. Like Arkham Shadow. What was it? Arkham Shadow? Was that what it's called?
Yeah. Yep. That sounds right. Arkham Shadow.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been doing a good job. All these development studios are doing a good job utilizing the hardware. So, and I think you can learn a lot from all the games that have already come out, right? Like there's the gaming mechanics, the way that the games actually feel, the way that you can use your controllers and the real 3D space that you're in. It's not like new territory anymore. VR's been out for like a decade.
Yeah.
At least in the consumer market. And like you can make a banger real quick. So
no, I think it's fair. Yeah, I mean, you definitely build on the mechanics of the game before you see what works, and it's not as clear cut as just general video games. Like VR, it's kind of a sketchy kind of landscape. I think. How far can you push it before you want to appeal to this broad audience? And Batman did a lot to sort of push that forward.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty excited about this. I mean, I know it's a sexy IP. Everybody likes it. This could be pretty cool. The mechanics, the different weapons you could use, could be really interesting.
Mm-hmm. So, guys, really quickly, I want to say a huge shout out to our buddy Chaotic BPR, who
1K,
1,000 subscribers tonight on YouTube. Like, it was painful getting him there to the end. Like, this brother earlier today had 996, and he was like, 4 people, come on. So I am so happy for him. Solid dude, absolutely amazing individual, great community member, host of Yo Retro every Thursday night. Go check it out. Him and half a dozen, otherwise known as 6, always cover the latest AtGames pinball table releases, and they also cover like other gaming news. Definitely go check them out, and show them some more love. Let's not just get them to 1,000. Let's get this mofo to 2,000.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks again, Jason, for the super chat as well, buddy. Really appreciated, and for good cause too, representing our buddy Chaotic. So here's the MetaQuest store. So I'll just show you guys a couple images here now. So here's a look at Master Splinter in game. Here's a look at some of the Turtles' New York City, hopefully where they'll be fighting. There's a look at a warehouse that's possibly going to be a scene, more New York City street scenes. And there's the sewer lair. So you get a good idea of what the art style will be. Kind of reminiscent of what they did with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for the Stern pinball machine. Same kind of comic style art style they did.
Yeah, I can see that. I think this is good. It's almost like the name of the art styles is escaping me right now. But it's like cell shading. Thank you. It's like cell shaded. It looks good. I think this is a good way to represent the Turtles in the VR space. The challenge with VR in general is finding a balance between realism and like functionality. Yeah. Because once you start getting into things that are too realistic, you have problems, because if something just feels out of place, it like really takes you out of the game, right? Like when it's too real and then like one little thing just doesn't match up with that realism, it pulls you out of the experience. So going with like a more cartoony, cell shaded environment helps to keep everything pretty neutral, because they can do whatever they want in that, and you don't have to worry about like all the really small details. So I don't know.
With the
I
cam-
think it. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think with the camera kind of pulled back and you see the turtle's lair, it reminds me of Batman kind of in the shadows. These are ninjas; they could be in the shadows. I see that maybe you could see a lot of that Batman mechanics sort of coming into play behind the shadows, jumping out. I mean, there's nothing wrong with building on what works. They just need to make it distinct and different besides just a Ninja Turtles logo on the box, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Encoder's got a good point. He's talking about Super Hot. Super Hot has been out for a long time. That is not a new
Yes.
game, and it's very simple. Like there's no
It's
heavy
Stickman.
graphic.
It's
It's
Stickman.
literally it's like polygonal red figures that you're shooting.
It feels like the
Fighter,
Lawnmower Man,
basically.
except shittier.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Shittier than the graphics in the Lawnmower
That,
Man.
but worse.
Right, but it's like the best freaking game on VR.
Yeah.
Period. It's so good. So like you don't need graphics to make a good game. Obviously, Nintendo's known that for years. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this, man. I think this is going to be a nice, fun game to play, and hopefully, it's like online multiplayer. Like I know it said multiplayer, but like hopefully you can actually like play story, like cooperatively play the story.
Yeah, I was going to
mode.
ask.
How would it not be online multiplayer like with a
Because, well,
do I just
co-op
share,
or versus?
do I
that's
share
what
the
I was trying to get
goggles
to,
with-
but I think Mike's looking at this through like a narrow vision. There's cooperative play, Mike, and then there's versus play, right?
Oh yeah,
So,
I
like,
see what you're saying now. Yeah.
Like I'm hoping that it's cooperative. Like you could
would
actually
be more
connect with
fun.
somebody
Yeah,
and play a level together.
Four player at once, so it wouldn't be competitive.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
that
Could
would
be battle
slick.
royale.
Yep,
Yeah, guys.
that might be one I actually buy, Mike.
I doubt it. I don't think so. Not unless it comes free with the next quest. It's definitely not
that's no
something you're going to
kidding.
buy. So, guys, we did have a bit of a surprise announcement before the show. If you're a pinball fan, this is one people have been looking for a long time. Jersey Jack did their first official teaser for their upcoming Harry Potter pinball. I'm not the biggest Jersey Jack fan myself. I don't like the way the game shoot up until Elton John, but I think this one's going to be a barn burner for them. They're going to sell 1 billion of these because Harry Potter still probably one of the most marketable franchises of all time.
Yeah, and well, they've got the new Harry Potter TV series coming out too, right around the corner, so it's good timing.
Yeah.
It's always relevant. Like Harry Potter's never not relevant.
No, we didn't get a look at the actual play field in that little teaser there, but as you can see, they got licenses to everything. They got all the characters, they got all the actors, everything. They went in all in on this. I
How
hope this
did
is a
they do
huge
that?
success.
Yeah,
What?
that looks great. You
How did
wonder
they do it?
how-
They
how
paid
did
money.
They do that?
They paid money.
Lots of money, right?
Lots of money.
Buku money.
Yeah, unlike Dutch Pinball, who apparently have the Back to the Future license and might not have any of the actors, they paid the money to do it. The problem with that is
that's it.
I don't know. You would have to find out. There was a rumor that AtGames were actually going to do a Back to the Future pinball skin for the AtGames Legends pinball, which everybody would have went nuts for.
Oh yeah,
but they had the rights to Back to the Future and they had the rights to the DeLorean, so they could use the logo, the DeLorean, different elements from like the movie. But the actors were extras, so they would have to drop more money to put the likenesses of like Michael J. Fox, Doc Brown on the air, right? And the feedback they got from their internal staff was nobody will buy this if you don't put the actors on the side of the machine. Now, I think that's wrong. I think everybody would have bought a Back to the Future AtGames Legends pinball. It would have been super popular with just the DeLorean, the logo, maybe the clock tower in the background with
the
lightning.
Trail of Fire. Yeah,
I don't think it needed the actors at all.
No,
I think you guys are so wrong about this.
This is one of the reasons nostalgia probably was let go from AtGames for terrible decisions like this.
Most likely,
I gotta
they
say,
fired him with prejudice. Yeah.
Listen, both of you guys can both suck it. What I'm going to tell you is just straight up facts. The reality is they could have released this without the IP, the likeness of those actors, and it would have been a fucking shitstorm. People would have been like, "Oh, they didn't do this. They didn't spend the money
for Harry Potter." Yes, Harry Potter. Yes, 100%.
No, even for Back to the Future.
No
way.
No
Back
to the Future. No, you have the logo, the clock tower, the DeLorean, the Trail of Fire. That's all you need. I mean,
that's
the
not
actors
true.
would have. Bro, it would have been a bonus, I grant you, to get Michael J. Fox, to get everybody to sign on 100%. That would have been an absolute bonus. But
No
Harry
way.
Potter only exists because of those actors. They
Wait,
rely
are
on
we
those
comparing
likenesses.
Harry Potter versus Back to the Future? I'm
Well,
not
as
talking
an
Harry
example,
Potter at all.
I think that Back to the Future can exist without those two actors.
I don't think it
I
would have been.
think they
as
could have done
routine.
it.
You know what? All I'm going to do is point to NFL Blitz for Arcade 1-Up. What happened with the cider?
Sure.
People lost their shit.
Look at the game itself. Like that's not Michael J. Fox's voice.
No, it's not. And even the last video game they did, that
Telltale
Games one,
Yeah.
they didn't use the real actors either, and that was fantastic. I think, we could go back and forth, but I'll ask the audience about this, because when I heard about it, I was so sad that AtGames made that horrible decision. Whoever internally at AtGames gave that advice, in my opinion,
Horrible.
that is a huge mistake. So I'll ask you guys in the chat, would you have bought a AtGames Legends Pinball Back to the Future edition if it had the DeLorean, the logo, like some lightning, and like the clock tower or something in the background? Put a
No
one in the
actors,
chat.
nobody,
One in
no
the
one
chat.
representing. Yeah.
And if you wouldn't have bought it because the actors weren't on it, put a 0 in the chat.
Guys, we literally saw something similar to this with the Star Trek tape. And the back glass didn't look good enough, and the side art was
It's
too
not the same
generic.
thing. They put all the actors on there. They just
That's
put it
my
on once.
point.
But I
Even
would-
with all the actors, people still found something to complain about. What are you talking
I
about?
think it was.
dude?
I think it was the wrong series. I think if they
Yeah.
would have started with the original trilogy, or not the trilogy, the original show from back in the day with Captain Kirk, if they would have started with those characters, it would have been well received, better received.
I think that you can't please even 50% of the market. It's probably a bad idea.
Well, that's a good point. Can't argue with that.
It's a lot of zeros, Mike. Couple
I know. I'm
ones
seeing
here and
that
there.
too. I'm surprised. There's a lot of people that just wouldn't buy the AtGames Legends Pinball in the first place.
Well,
Please don't
true.
vote if you're just anti-AtGames.
I think if you would have, I think, okay, here's the distinction. I say you don't have those characters on the pinball machine at all. Don't do it if you can't get the likeness of the actual actors.
Yeah.
So just have the DeLorean. Don't have some stand-in for Michael J. Fox. Don't have some stand-in for Christopher Lloyd. Just have the time machine, the Trail of Fire, clock tower, all that.
Yeah.
You guys are wrong on this one. I don't know.
We're
I'm
totally
sorry.
we couldn't be any more right.
Maybe
In
I'm
my
the
own
idiot.
mind.
But
I'm the stooge out of us three. That's fine. But I just honestly I believe that
You are the cream filling in the Oreo
that's
of stupidity.
fine.
he
I-
definitely is cream filled. Yeah.
Yes.
I genuinely believe that the people saying that they would have bought one are saying they would have bought one, but they may not have actually bought one. And I
I
think
would have
the
bought one.
risk I think the risk for AtGames was too high to put out an IP like that as one of the skins and not have it be successful. Like
Do
it
you
was too
think
high of a
because-
risk.
You think because of the money they would have had to pay for that would have just not equated to sales?
I think that the money that they would have had to pay for it, even without the IP of the actors, would have been too
Yeah.
high. That they, I don't think they would have.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
think they would have done
Back
enough.
to
Like,
Back to the
it just
Future
wouldn't
would have been
sold.
way too high. So in its place, they did Jurassic Park
Yeah, way better.
with no actors.
Much cheaper.
I
They're
don't know how to
paying just
respond to
as
that.
much for Jurassic Park. There was
They
no actors
sure.
on that. The art on that table is terrible.
But the stars of Jurassic Park really are the dinosaurs and
Arguably, the
logo.
stars of Back to the Future are
Or the time machine.
DeLorean and the time machine.
The time machine, the Trail of Fire, the lightning.
You weren't even
all
fucking
that.
alive. You didn't see these movies. You have no frame of reference.
Mike, I'm
Just
telling you, I
that
could be
logo.
wrong. But all I'm saying is that even though I wasn't born in that generation, at least half of our chat has agreed with me.
Well, half the chat are
I-
saying things that I don't even understand. They're not even a point of reference. Like B. Kirby mentioned, no official voices. I'm out, and that I understand where B is coming from, but I don't think that he has a full understanding of what the actual game is and stuff like that. The game is already exists on AtGames. There already is there. It's been
can buy
out
it
for
now.
years on Zen Pinball, right? Nothing against him.
Right, but what they've done on Zen Pinball.
Thank
and
you for the
could
super
actually-
chat too.
You could play Back to the Future in the first VR pinball that Zen
Yeah.
released.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure, if I recall, because I did play that, I think There's a stand-in that stands beside you when you're playing that pinball machine.
A likeness
But
of Doc Brown, yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Right, a likeness of him. Like, they literally did it because they thought it was important. That's my point, Mike. You're like, don't even put anybody. Don't put anybody at all. It's just going to deal with the car.
We're talking about static artwork. I mean, for interactive artwork, I agree. You have to have the characters there, for call outs and all that. But for just static art on the side of the machine, you don't necessarily have to have the actors.
Yeah, and MG, he's just fucking with me. I know he is. He's saying you need the soundbite clips from the movie. What does that have to do with the Earth?
No, Mike. MG is right. Also, I think
the game already exists. It's already out there.
Mike, can I put this out there?
Oh my god!
If AtGames has to be highly selective of what IP they're using, they need to make sure that every release is as successful as it can be, or else they're in trouble. So
they did a Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, that was, I don't know. Did they do that actually?
Yeah,
did you see the artwork?
Yeah.
What I think they need to do, and I don't give a shit about Back to the Future or any of the other IPs, Star Wars, Marvel, whatever. They need to do a goddamn South Park.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Well,
that's it.
Okay, yes.
Put the money into goddamn South Park, and that's it.
Yes.
That's where it needs to be, because that appeals to so many goddamn people, and it's such a recognizable IP. That's where they need to focus their attention, not on this Back to the Future nonsense.
Okay, I'm guessing there's people out there that have never played this, 9-year-old game, but
Mike,
yes,
they're
they
right.
have sound bites from the movie. They have like different things from it.
Nothing to do with the artwork on the side of the machine.
No.
Guys, if they can't even get the clips from the movies, they shouldn't release the skins like that.
But they released the game.
What does that have to?
You bastard! I think I would absolutely love that. That would be epic. Think about the topper, the freaking flying DeLorean. That would be sick.
Yeah.
With the time. Oh, that would be incredible. That'd be.
How
so
many
great.
goddamn DeLoreans do you need on one fucking arcade machine? You're gonna have a DeLorean on the side, on the
12
front,
is the magic number.
You're gonna have one up on the
The
back,
back,
you're gonna have
the
one
bottom,
on
the shit, the
What
stuff
are
you don't
talking
even
about,
see.
guys?
I want it everywhere.
No, God, I don't
Etch
even know
it
what
in
to
the
say.
glass.
JT Brunnick says Back to the Future would outsell South Park twofold.
Oh,
I don't
my
know
God.
if that's true.
Shots fired.
I don't know if that's actually true.
That may not be true.
I don't think
that's true.
I think this is one of those things that we'll never really get an answer to because AtGames will never come out with it. But I will tell you right now, let's see what Dutch Pinball does, because Dutch Pinball is coming out with a real physical Back to the Future pin. Apparently, that's their next release. And if that is a massive commercial success in the pinball world, well, maybe they should have did a Back to the Future AtGames Legends Pinball.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm sticking with South Park.
I don't disagree. I think South Park's will be $1 million idea.
Great.
That's the one. That's the one. That's the one.
Yeah, better than Sea of Thieves, though.
I think I would argue people are saying that I'm wrong about this, and Back to the Future would outsell South Park. No, I genuinely believe South Park could be their bestseller. Genuinely believe that.
I don't think that's a bad.
Especially if they get the goddamn like the voice actors. Well, there's only a few voice actors in that show, but like if they get the main characters and they really capture the theme of South Park, man, that would be a hot machine, and I bet you it would sell it. It would sell any of their other machines.
But what if they did South Park without the actors? Without
that would be a no-go. That'd be stupid.
Yeah.
Don't do that. What, you're gonna just get like South Park with just their logo?
Just
No,
the
don't
word
do that.
South Park. Yeah.
But not even their logo. Not even their logo. Just like
the word. Just like
just a black
SP,
cat.
That's it.
And then South Park spelled out in New Times Roman.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's in Arial text, and there's just a picture of Man Bear Pig on the side of the machine.
All right, we have gone the way of the dodo with this. This is completely gone downhill, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much.
We're not done.
We
are not done.
We've got 4 more topics.
We don't have any more topics. We're not talking.
I thought we had
an hour and 50 minutes.
We absolutely do have one more topic.
All right,
actually 2 more topics. I think.
Okay,
hit me, nostalgia. Come on.
Anbernic.
Oh,
Anbernic.
There we go.
Anbernic. The
great company.
Yeah, that's right. They have, and Mike, I don't know if you've got access to the video to pull up. It's on their main YouTube.
Yep, I got
channel.
it. I got it.
So Anbernic
Good
dropped
stuff.
a little 17-second video. So for anybody who doesn't give a shit about the retro emulation handheld space, then you probably won't give a shit about this. But they've done something quite interesting. I'm trying to stall as long as I can. Fox, do you know about this? Have you heard anything about this?
I've heard rumor, story. Some would say legend. Could you tell me more? Could you fill in the gaps?
Yes,
Oh,
I
you
could.
know what? Never
My
mind.
screen's froze.
Never mind.
It froze.
If
It's okay. Well, I will tell you the
ahead.
legend is true and the rumors
Oh
are
my God.
true. And they didn't have to go out and find the likeness of any characters in order to do this. It was actually pretty
crazy talk.
interesting. Mike, whenever you're ready, there it is. So what we've got here is Anbernic's new product. They are calling this the RG Slide. So anybody who has played with a
PSP Go. I love this idea.
a PSP Go, what they're doing is
Love
they
this.
look at this. They are
It's
going after that. It's such an interesting
beautiful.
style, and it's their RG model, so we know it's going to be a more powerful chip.
Mm-hmm.
We know that this thing is going to be able to handle PSP games running in 3x, 4x resolution.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you're going to get nice, beautiful 1080p PSP gameplay. If they're using their newest chip, the Dimensity 8300, which is what they released on their RG 557, then you're going to be able to get PS2 games, GameCube games running on this thing.
Yeah.
You're going to be able to get some light Switch games.
Okay. Yeah.
No?
This is all fine and good nostalgia, but do you think that they're going to use something bigger than a 3.5-inch display?
Yeah, I mean, if they're using the RG, even if they use the RG Cube screen, the RG Cube screen was a 3.95-inch screen. I think they would be stupid not to go with like a 4.2 or a 4.3-inch screen on this. Mike, can you pull up that video one more time? I just want to look
No.
at that aspect ratio.
No.
Okay. Well, then
So
we'll ignore it.
Nostalgia actually consulted with them on this product, and they said, you know what? How big should the screen be, and how long should the teaser video be? And Nostalgia said, my wife is always satisfied with something under 3.5 inches and only 17 seconds long.
That's true. That's true.
I don't know. I think it depends on the size of the model's hands, but it appears to me it could be a fairly large device. And
Yeah.
I have always loved this mechanic. I've loved the PSP Go. I love the Sony Ericsson phone that came out, the Play. I
Yep.
think this is. I'm very excited about this. I mean, it's probably a 4-inch-ish screen, you know,
I
but
think-
you know, I don't know, man. If 5 inch is probably not realistic.
No, it's
No,
definitely not
5
going to be
inches.
5 inches.
5
Definitely
inches
not.
is below average, actually.
Yeah. So here's the thing about this. I think, because there's some questions about price, I think
Yeah.
realistically they're going to use the same chipset that they used in the RG Cube, which was the
Makes sense.
Unisoc T820. That chipset was not the best chipset that's available, but it was acceptable for most of the games that you would want to play in this form factor. If they're able to do that, and they do kind of the same thing that they did with the RG Cube, 8 gigs of RAM, 120 gigs of internal storage, 4-inch, maybe 4.2-inch display, depending on the aspect ratio that they go with. I think that a price point of around $150 is a good price point for this device. There you go. There you go. So you
Love
can
it.
absolutely see that it's going to be bigger than that.
Yes.
Form factor, it's going to be bigger than that.
I will tell you, we do have to move on because also on the other channel, and guys, feel free to leave if you want. Gallagher guys doing gaming happy hour. They're actually
Oh,
doing
yeah.
a charity stream, much more important than the bullshit we're doing.
We should
So
probably shut
feel
this
free
shit
to leave
down,
us. Go check
Okay.
him out. We'll allow Nostalgia to continue on, even though he's been given ample opportunity to stop. But Nostalgia obviously hates charity and wants to ruin it for them.
You can love charity and also love the new Anbernic device.
No.
Just saying.
I honestly, I do want to say, please leave us. Go support those guys. For those who want to dual watch, we'll keep going because I think this is important. I do think that Anbernic is genius in the fact that
Yes.
they came out with an idea about coming out with these, pirate devices that you can put millions of games on. And I don't know how good the emulation is, but it works pretty good. Usually they've got more powerful. You can put other stuff on it. But the real science behind what Anbernic's doing is they make those familiar form factors. They know how to go out there and they're like, what other handhelds were done by companies that people will be excited about? You've got the Game Boy Advance SP, the Anbernic I've got up there looks like the Game Boy. Now you've got PSP ones. Now you've got PSP Go ones. And they're able to do all this shit, but add this level of nostalgia to it that really brings people in. I think that's genius.
Mm-hmm. Well, they've been going down that road, especially like the last year has been pretty consistent. Prior to that, they were just releasing like different vertical and different horizontal gaming handhelds. Now they're actually cloning consoles, which is, I feel like it's a little dangerous, but also it's pretty awesome. And they've been doing a reasonable job with like the form factors, the way that it feels, the functionality, the specs inside. And I think that's it. Like, for me, that device, if I were to buy that slide device, which I'm sure they're going to send me, but if I were to buy one, the only thing I'd want to play on that thing is PSP games.
Absolutely.
Like, that's it. Like, I would load that thing from top to bottom with PSP games, and it would be my PSP gaming handheld, and that's it. That's it. So that would be slick. I'm looking forward to it. It's coming out sometime this year. Hopefully, I'll get my hands on it before it's released. Maybe make a video and show you guys how slick it is.
I'm excited.
I'm curious to know if it's a touchscreen too.
You think they'll go that way?
If they go with an Android system, yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, because the RG Cube was an Android dual boot system, so they had their Linux operating system. They also had Android. And it was a touchscreen, so
yeah.
And I know it's old tech, but you've got to get this slide. It's got to feel right. That's got to be tight. You got to have that satisfying.
Yeah, it's always disappointing when it's a little loose, like especially like she's super hot. You get in there and you're like, you know what?
And you're like,
it's not there. Yeah, she's either had a kid or she. If it doesn't have the tight slide,
that's fair. Bobby 1ALU. Answer the question. People need to know, does it play Bad Dudes? Unfortunately not. In fact, we're not able to get that game to run properly. There's too many emulation issues, and it's not realistic.
Very unfortunate. Yeah. Maybe someday, Yeah.
The only person who's got that right is AtGames. So
yeah. So moving on now, that's a good one. Last but not least, Switch comes out. By the time we do our next show, we'll have the Switch 2 in our hands. But the question I want to ask is, beggars can't be choosers. So the question I want to ask is, Fox, I know you're holding off. I think you're going to cave. You're going to go out and get one.
Probably.
You're going to get loaded and you're going to be
my
like,
MO. I'm going to have a little bit.
I think I want that Switch.
Yeah. Let me get two.
It's probably sex with might be is like throwing a hot dog down a hallway. So anyways, Nostalgia, you've got it pre-ordered. I went to the store today. I added some things onto the list. I added some game card key games, which made me feel a little bit dirty.
You're a horrible person.
I know I'm a horrible person. Did I?
Yes.
I told you about my karaoke story, right?
Yeah, I know. But this is worse.
Yeah. Somehow. So right now, I've only got the system, the bundle with Mario Kart World, the Pro controller for launch, but I added two games, Bravely Default, what is it, Fairy Story or something like that, Final Fairy, and also added Street Fighter 6 so I can play online against my buddy Zim and MG and some others. We're going to play some Street Fighter 6 on the Nintendo Switch 2. What'd you get? Nostalgia, did you pre-order anything else in the base system?
No, dude, there's nothing on launch that I want. This is why I'm struggling if I want to even keep my pre-order.
Don't do it. Give it up.
I'm feeling like, why would I tie up $800 or in one of these?
Oh yeah, we had this conversation. Like, you're one of those poors.
That's not it, Mike. I just don't see why spend $800 today on the console and game that I'm not really interested in when I could wait for potentially a release with a game that I actually want.
You're not going to enjoy playing Mario Kart World with your friends, family online with your buddy Mike.
In
Well,
6 months, you can enjoy it then.
Yeah, but I won't be interested then. I'll be moved on to other things.
Oh, that's a good point.
That's a problem. So for me, on my end, I'm not I like Mario Kart. I think it's fun, but it's never been a game that I ever like cared to pick up. And play with my friends. It was not like a number
this
one.
is going to be a game changer. We're all going to be playing it
System
online.
Seller.
Yeah.
I know. I thought the same thing about Forza Horizon, and I've been playing that, or I was playing that for a while, and then all of a sudden I was just like, I'm kind of done with the racing games. I want something that's more action adventure.
MG's happy that you're not getting it. He doesn't want to play with the poor, anyways.
To be clear, right now I am still getting it. I do have it pre-ordered. I actually have 2 consoles pre-ordered, so like as of today, it's coming my way. But I don't know if that's going to be the case prior to shipping. I've got to make a decision soon.
I will tell you, I struggled with pre-ordering any games because the launch lineup is terrible. Like I've got to say, it's probably outside of Mario Kart. Like it's in my opinion, one of the worst launch lineups ever, just in terms of like brand new games. Like of course, if you're a Nintendo hardcore, there's some first time games that are coming that are really exciting, like Elden Ring and Cyberpunk 2077. But it's not like I don't have access to them in like 15 different ways already, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's a bit of a struggle. Let me just bring up the Nintendo Switch launch library. We'll take a look at this. Of course, you've got that horrible Nintendo playtest demo that for some reason they're charging Switch 2 experience or whatever it is.
I think there's too many kind of unknowns right now for me to really jump on this. I mean, I had the pre-order, I had the Walmart pre-order.
Yeah, I mean,
and I just gave it some thought and just.
Why would you spend money on something like that when you can, get loaded in the middle of the night and drop $600 on a Final Vendetta
unestablished company, which is a quality game, okay, well established. Nintendo, not so much. This could be some fly-by-night corporation. I have no idea.
I've got the GameCube controller coming. So the only first-party games are Mario Kart World, Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour, which is a literal piece of shit.
Stupid. So dumb that's not free.
What happens in 6 months when they come out with a better version, better pack-in game, or like a different version of the console? Aren't you going to kick yourself?
No,
I don't think
about that.
The thing is, I think they will release like an updated version, the new.
No. He's talking. He's one of these guys.
I just mean like
in one.
It's got a different color Joy-Con or something. Like not even like an OLED version. Yeah, just like a different version. Something with a cool pack-in game. I don't know.
Yeah, see, I agree with Fox on like that's why I'm leaning against it because like
sweet.
There's nothing that's like super incredible, and the new Mario Kart game does look cool and it looks fun. But like, I'm actually more interested in Donkey Kong. That's not coming out until October. So I'm like, maybe there'll be a bundle with just Donkey Kong.
August. I think Donkey Kong's August.
I thought Donkey Kong was
might have been moved.
Maybe it's August. Maybe
might have been moved.
I don't know. Either way, my point is that like, why buy this bundle with Mario Kart, which is a game that like I actually don't really have that much interest in playing, when I could wait for a bundle with a different game. Maybe they'll do a repack with like a different, I don't know, like a Zelda HD game that they're going to be remastering.
Donkey Kong is July, buddy.
Donkey Kong is July.
July.
I don't know why. I thought I saw it in October or something, but that's fine.
This is just because you're a poor. Like you're just trying to make excuses because
you're keeping that pre-order after all, huh?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Now I'm gonna have to. You see, this is peer pressure. You guys are just saying that so that way I keep it to prove a point.
I honestly,
I think you
cancel this
both.
pre-order. I'm making a shirt that has your face on it and says "Nostalgia is a poor."
I think you keep both and sell me one for half the price, and I'll make a T-shirt saying "Nostalgia saved me."
Why would I sell it to you for half the price when I could just give it to you
because
for free?
We're super. Well, or that's also an option. I'm not going to take it off the table.
So, anyways, guys, here is the third-party lineup. Here's your choices of games because outside of Mario Kart, there is no real choice. We'll go down to
zoom in.
Oh, fuck's sakes.
We can't even read that.
All right, so
now we can read it. Wow.
Split Fiction, Cyberpunk 2077 with all the DLC. Bravely Default, Flying Fairy. Remember, this one is cheaper too. This one is only $39.99 US, but it is a game card key. I'm getting that one. There's Yakuza 0 Director's Cut, Rune Factory, Guardian of Azuma, Hogwarts Legacy, Fortnite. PlayStation's fucking smart too. Hogwarts Legacy is free right now on PlayStation 5 if you're a PS Now member. they're fucking Nintendo. Hitman World of Assassination, Arcade Archives Ridge Racer, Street Fighter 6 years 1 and 2. I think this is actually a bit of a value on this. Why I'm consider getting it, because you get the base game plus you get the first 2 DLCs, so you get 8 bonus characters, and those add-ons are actually surprisingly expensive. So I'm starting to feel better about that option. Pyro Tetris 2S, Fast Fusion, Survival Kids, Sonic X Shadow Generations, Path of the Goddess, Suikoden 1 and 2 HD remasters, and Nabunga's Mission Awakening Complete Edition. So tons of games, but in my opinion, that's a rough launch lineup. Rough.
Mike, how many of those games are not available on either a different console, or like are any of them exclusive?
Sort of. There is exclusive versions. That's the, like, you can play Bravely Default on the 3DS, but this is a HD remaster with extra features. Cyberpunk 2077, this is going to be the Ultimate Edition with all the extra features, but you can play it elsewhere. Hogwarts Legacy is going to be a straight port. This is the Signature Edition. I don't know what that means. This is
Street Fighter 6 was not available on the Switch, right? It was only available on
no.
like
yeah,
PS5.
because it was too powerful to play on the Switch. They just couldn't get it to work.
Well, I'm curious to see if it's like a dumbed down version of like if a graphically reduced version.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It'll be like they say, like PS4 level graphics. Now, here's the other thing. This is where Nintendo's really good at making money because they're smart. They're also releasing Switch 2 versions of Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, 2 Switch games that I'm going to play right away. Sid Meier's Civilization 7, Fantasy Life, Rune Factory, and I think but I guess it's not available for launch. They're also doing a Mario Party game I thought was going to be available as well, but guess it's not available at launch. The cool thing about this for me, I'm not going to buy either of these games, but these are huge system sellers for me because I was just going to do the upgrades. Turns out these are both going to be free upgrades with Nintendo Switch Online. So since I have the expansion pack, I just plug in my Switch 1 cartridge and I'm automatically playing the Switch 2 version without paying anything. So yeah, very excited. Yeah. Yeah, thanks, James, for the update. There's also Mario Party Jamboree and Kirby Forgotten Realm with new DLC, but those aren't going to be available till later in the year. So for me, I'm
Hello?
Is it just?
I'm not going to
Mike? I thought it was.
Oh, I don't know.
I'm back.
Fox.
Am I back?
Okay,
You're back?
he's back. Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
Gotcha.
so I'm gonna spend the majority of my time going back and playing through the 3 Legend of Zelda games available at launch: Wind Waker and the 2 Tears of the Kingdom. So I'm actually thinking, maybe I don't need Street Fighter.
Yeah, you probably don't need it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think, Mike, you're doing a bad job selling me on this console.
I'm not trying to sell you on this. I don't give a shit if you don't buy it. I'm going to make a shirt that says
No.
nostalgia and poor. This is
show,
going to financially benefit me.
This entire show, you've been trying to get me to keep my pre-orders, and you know what, man? Like, I appreciate it, but you're gonna have to do a better job. Same with MG. MG's doing a shit job trying to get me to keep this console.
I'm not impressed with any of your arguments.
Nothing.
Well,
here.
it's not our fault that you guys are poors.
That's not a good argument.
It's not an argument. I'm just lamenting the fact that you guys are poors.
We're not the poors. We have discriminating tastes.
So where's that Epstein list?
Got it in the back room. FBI is busy.
You're gatekeeping that shit.
Yeah. Well, we're working through the redactions, so we'll get that to you immediately. And by immediately, I mean in 4 years.
I'm going to do my own members only stream. You're going to be my first guest, and we're going to go do a deep dive on 19K Fox's feelings on the Epstein list.
You know what? And if it's a members only live stream, I will not hold back.
I know.
Yeah.
But you made me a promise.
I made
Time's
you a promise,
almost up,
my friend.
motherfucker.
That's right. Get those memberships rolling, son.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, anyways, we've kept everybody long enough. Remember, go over to Gallagher Guy. Support the charity that he's representing tonight. Everybody, thank you so much for joining us Friday. 19K Fox, thanks for filling in once again for P-Dubs. You have been amazing, man. I've really enjoyed my time with you as one of the panelists. We got to talk to Nostalgia. Do you think that 19K Fox should join us regularly?
100%.
Yeah, I'm down.
100%.
Gentlemen, that's high
Yeah.
praise. I appreciate it. It's been a ton of fun for me, though.
100%.
19K Fox is like, I got my own fucking shit to do. I don't get time for this.
We can either get rid of P-dubs or we can get rid of Nostalgia. Either one of them, they don't really add much value to the show.
Why do we have to be a quartet? Why can't we be a quintet?
We
Could
could
add
be a
fifth?
quintet.
Yeah.
We could be a quintet. But then
Nostalgia,
it's like,
your wife easily added another lover to your equation, and
Oh my God.
you just sit in the cuck chair, you're fine.
This
It
is
could be like
incredibly
that.
but
personal.
Mike, that it didn't matter because the total inches were still within average.
That's a fair fair point.
She
Divide by
added
5,
another
you're fine.
guy with a small dick. That is so weird. maybe she's got a thing for it. I don't know.
I don't know. Who knows? Who knows?
Oh,
Not
man,
me.
this is-
I wouldn't know.
This is fucking infuriating. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Hopefully, we kept you somewhat entertained. If not, well, we tried our best. Everybody, enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll see you next week on the Super Duper Game Room Dudes. See you, fellas.
This is bullshit, Mike. Every single show you can. We're still alive. It's all good, baby.
Gotta go get drunk and buy some Neo Geo carts.